All right, are we good? We good? Everybody can hear me. You already know what to do. If you see, well, if you hear me clearly, put that 1 in the chat room. If you don't, put the 2. I'll be addressing the commentary in a little bit, just so you guys can hear me clearly. If you can see me, put that, well, if you can hear me, put the 1. If you can't, put that 2. Right. Right. Okay. Okay. Right. Seems like you guys can hear me and see me. That is good. That is good. I know a ton of you guys are waiting for that commentary. It's actually processing. If you don't follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, or even saw the post that I put up on YouTube, my computer crashed yesterday about halftime of Sunday Night Football. So when it did crash, usually what happens is, the computer just has to restart, and then you get your files back because everything was saved. Oh no, my commentary file was corrupted. So what did that mean? I have to start over from scratch. Now Sunday's commentary is one of the toughest ones to do. Why? Because as the games are going, I'm recording. So at the time of halftime was about 10 p.m. during Seattle and Los Angeles. I started at 1. So that's 9 hours of the commentary that was gone like this. So I had to restart today, cut up every single game, not as they were going to where it was easy. I had to go back, cut up every single game to get all of the touchdowns, majority of the turnovers, then re-record the commentary, line up the audio. I've been sitting in this seat since I returned from the gym, probably about since 8:40 something a.m. recording this commentary today. So I have not eaten yet. My food is actually inside of the microwave as we speak. So this has been the longest day, but happy to say the commentary should be, as long as it still is processing right now. We're at 22%. So I'll have it up on YouTube. Since it's about 30 minutes long, I'd highly doubt it'll be posted during halftime because halftime's only about 15 minutes. So right after the game is over and I'm done here premiering the commentary, it'll go live. It'll be on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and yeah. So as the time goes, everybody will be stepping in asking about the commentary. When is it going to be posted? So you'll know. I'll let you guys know whenever I see it, so you guys know. So yeah, there it is. Game is going live in 5, so that'll be fun. NFC East, matchup between the Eagles and the Giants. We could get the predictions now. Who you think is winning between the Giants and the Eagles? So, yeah. Give me your predictions. I have the Eagles winning this game. I think Eli Manning is going to put on a masterclass performance for 2.5 quarters, and then he's going to turn into vintage Eli Manning. Megalopos Pros, is that how it's pronounced? I am going to have a magnificent rest by the time the commentary's done, because I'm going to be with you in the chat room, and then probably when it hits midnight, everything will be finished. And once that happens, I will be in the deepest of sleeps. You'd have thought I've been fighting against Kabuto. He's going to use the Feather Illusion Jutsu, and I'm going to be asleep. So that'll be very fun. Joey Overstreet puts 5 on it, says, computer, I would rather have Nick Folk and Cody Parkey as my kickers, so put your head back down, you goddamn bum. You're damn right. And the thing, I bought this computer in July too. It's hilarious how everything turned out. The funniest thing was no other files was lost except the commentary. That was the wildest thing. That was the wildest thing about it. But all right, we should be good here. All right, so I have the hot mic chat. That'll be, let me just get up in there. The hot mic chat, Twitter, as always. You know what time it is. We send this over to myself and get this on here. And hot mic is live, ladies and gentlemen. So if you have that iPhone or the Android, click those links inside of the description and head over to Hot Mic and watch me live and in sync in real time over there. In contrast to in YouTube, where there's a little bit of a delay. Let me just get the Hot Mic chat going. All right. Pop out this YouTube chat so I can communicate with everybody here. Hot mic up. YouTube chat up. Commentary process is at 38%. Oh, give me a little bit. Should be. Right. Go. Move this over here. That over here. All right. Yes, Yang Vang, I am on Twitter too. I have that up in front of me. Okay. And if you have not followed me on Twitter, follow me on Twitter. TJ Blaze just tuned in. Said, yo, what's up? Thanks for your hard work getting the commentary out. Thank you very much, TJ Blaze. Always tuning in. Yordi just tuned in on Hot Mic. Andrew Shabbat is on Hot Mic as well. Thank you very much, guys, for tuning in. All right, so if you guys haven't tuned in on Hot Mic already and you have the iPhone, tune in over there. R.I.P. to Juice WRLD. Yes, I heard he passed away yesterday. I kid you not. I had no clue who the gentleman was until yesterday, but turns out my brother was listening to one of his songs for over a year now. I believe it was Lucid Dreams. So R.I.P. to him. If you have not learned anything from Mac Miller, Little Peep, and now Juice WRLD, the lean and the Zans is not the way to go. But R.I.P. to that young man. You know, only 21 years old, celebrated his birthday last week. That's a hard, tough way to go. But tonight we'll take our mind off of all of that because it is Football Monday. And we see all four individuals choosing Louis Riddick, Randy Moss, Steve Young, and also Susie, all choosing the Eagles to win this game. They all say, screw Eli Manning. We don't care if he's coming back to play. He's going to ride that L train. And Monday Night Football will start in a little bit. You guys can make your predictions now. Mark Ackerman, as always, saying the Eagles 27, the Giants 14. And also, computer had a better chance seeing Antonio Brown back in the NFL than have you as my laptop. Put your head back down, you damn dummy. I appreciate you guys, man. You guys make the jokes and the references the right way. Once I put up the post about the computer, everybody started roasting the computer like it's Nick Folk, so I found that extremely humorous. All right. Oh, we got the pregame thing is starting now. Okay, cool. So what I'm going to do is go to about a minute and a half commercial just so I can go and grab my food, and then I'll have it here. And I guess between every commercial break, I'll be taking a bite of my food because I don't think I should be eating it live. Wouldn't that be considered unprofessional? Would it be considered unprofessional to hold my Nugget Studios? Should I be eating as we go live? Then again, people always tell you not to eat with a mouth open, or I should say don't talk while chewing. But then again, I've always done that. Only time will tell. Regardless, I'm going to go grab my food real quick. Oh my Lord, I haven't ate that fast in years. You kidding me? I was out here looking like Goku on these streets. My pants are all dirty. I'd stand up, but nobody needs to see that travesty. I'm supposed to be an adult. What is going on? Peyton Manning is in the building. My favorite quarterback of all time is in the building. I had to restart I should say process the commentary that's going to be released after the game, because there was one clip that was actually silent. So luckily for me, I went back and looked at it again. But here goes the kickoff from Aldrich Rojas. And ladies and gentlemen, we are live in Hold My Nugget Studios for your 2019 NFL Week 14 Monday Night Football game highlight commentary, live on YouTube and also the Hot Mic app, which you should download. Click the description. The link's in the description as well. But the Philadelphia Eagles host the visiting New York Giants in the return of Eli Manning, the last hurrah. All right, farewell tour. 4 games remain in this man's career, because Lord knows he probably will not be coming back next year. Oh, my Lord. Whew. Here we go. Here we go. 1st and 10 from the 25 for the Philadelphia Eagles. All right, Carson Wentz, built like glass, takes the snap. It's going to be a handoff to Scott. And Dunder Mifflin, Michael Scott, carries it 10 yards, picks up a first down, and they're going to have it at the 35-yard line. I appreciate you guys for waiting for me while I stuffed my face for the first time today. Oh, my Lord. Samaj Rogers in the building. You know what? Let's go down the list. Everybody on Hot Mic, time for that shout-out. Yordi, Andrew, Will, Jordan, Packer Nation. Hey, listen. Daniel, Buffalo fan for life. Wesley Lowe, Electable Dane. Josh, yeah, you know your name, Josh. Bren, Prince J, Amir. 2nd and 2, Carson Wentz. They did not pick up the first down, and neither did Zach Ertz on this play. They're going to mark him for a gain of 1, 3rd and 1. Xavier, Brandon, Brian, Dante, Daniel, Moisiki. How's that pronounced? I apologize for butchering your name, man. Ryan, what is going on? Austin in the building. Hunter in the building. Samaj, Robert TV, Jeffrey Griffith, Jordan, Sonic Dew, as always, Tyson Cooper, what is going on? All right, we're going to get to YouTube in a little bit. 3rd and 1 for Carson Wentz and that Eagles offense. He's going to sneak it across the border of the Giants defense and move those chains to the 37-yard line. Down the line on YouTube, here we go. And I believe there was somebody who had put 5 on it. There it is, $4.99 from Aaron Sherwood. I appreciate you as always. Land of the free and the home of the blue screen. Not even my computer will let me finish the national anthem. You damn right. That's how I felt. All right, down the list we go on YouTube. Danica Shuck, Juicy Josh, Claim the Throne, Barack Mobamba, Ryan Mack, Timothy Diamond Production, Chris Solis, Danica Shuck, OC 24 B7 102. Play action fake for Carson Wentz somehow escapes the pass rush. They put their hands on this man's helmet and he got away. How do you not get the sack? I'm pretty sure that Golden is headed back to the defensive huddle wondering what happened to my tackling ability. That was abysmal. You got to be able to make that sack, brother. You got to be able to make that sack. Shadow Cage, Ezekiel, Stickbots, Sahil, Darian, Jerron, Angelo, as always. Adrian, Sorcerer, Caden, Kermat, Marco, Dominic, Zim85, Young Jeezy. Here goes the handoff to, I believe that should have been Miles Sanders. Indeed it was, for a pickup of what appears to be 2 yards, setting up 3rd and long. Tevin, as always, in the building. Mo Lester, Kyle. How is it going? Leon, Andrew Pierce, Jalen Cummings, Jaron Uchiha, Candace Leach, as always. No blue screen tonight. You're damn right. Ryan Mack, Amir Singh, Desmond Edmond, as always. True Clark. What is going on? Steven Gonzalez, Tim Harris, the C-Man 215. Miles, what's going on in Hot Mic? Shavang, as always, tuning in. Mass Spec. Mawuku, what is going on? Says the game starts at 8:15. You won't get off at work at 8. Oh, damn, that's a shame. The game starts at 8:15. He's not getting off until 8:30. and don't get home till 9:30. Well, guess what? You keep your app going, you keep Hot Mic live, you keep YouTube live, you'll be able to keep up with the game because I will make sure that you know everything that is happening. And ladies and gentlemen, we are live on the Hot Mic app. If you have not downloaded it already, do me a favor and click those links in the description on YouTube. And if you're watching on Hot Mic for the very first time, consider subscribing. And Bolden was able to make up for his failed sack before. I said Bolden. Golden was able to make up for his failed sack before, utilized his dreadlock powers, said, I went to the sideline, I found my hands, I see Carson Wentz, I will not miss this time, I grabbed your helmet, I put it in my crotch, and got a sack for the New York Football Giants. And the Eagles will be forced to punt in their black uniforms. What are these birds doing? Evidently, they've never been to Violet City. Faulkner has not tamed these birds because they don't know what they're doing. Fourth down, they'd punt the ball back to the New York Giants. It will be fielded. No, it is not. It's not fielded. It goes out of bounds at the 18-yard line. As Scott failed to get his hands on the football in time and coming onto the field, Eli Manning, good Lord in heaven, I can never speak about a quarterback who is more overrated. And I hate using that terminology, but damn it, everybody talks about a Hall of Famer. Everybody talks about being top 10. Everybody talks about, his where he stands when it comes to statistics. But if you just do the eye test and you looked at this man's career, you would say, man, he is an average quarterback who just so happened to have 2 Super Bowl rings. And the way I see it, he has 4 more games left to play in his illustrious career. So hopefully he can send off, himself, not the Giants because they're already in the death note. But we will see how things transpire for them. Jugaloo Crad says, any update for the Hot Mic app on the Android? The beta is out now. So apparently I think the date is the 15th or the 13th of this month. I think it might just be the 13th. But don't quote me on that. I think it's the 15th of this month. So we will find out when it does come out, most likely next week, Monday night. It should be up live and running very smoothly for the Android. So I will keep you guys posted for that. Now, I see a ton of people who are asking about the commentary for Sunday Night Football. This is what transpired. I was in the midst of getting ready to upload it. I think I was putting people on the L train at the time. So, I was at the end of the video. And as halftime was approaching for the Sunday Night Football game between the Seahawks and the Rams, my computer crashed. The only thing that was lost was the commentary file. So you can imagine I was recording from 1 p.m., the kickoff of the very first, games on Sunday up until halftime of Sunday Night Football, and everything was gone. So I had to start fresh. Here was the downside, though. There is, I believe, 13 football games yesterday. 13 football games. I had to compile all of those, cut them up, get the audio track, re-record the commentaries, do all that. I've been in this seat since 8:47. I think it was 8:47. It wasn't 9:47. It was one of those two. So I'm pretty sure my sciatica is screaming at my body right now. Maybe you should start stretching or maybe start moving. But nonetheless, I did finish the commentary. It is processing as we speak. After the game is over, it will be live. Once I end it here, I will click premiere and it'll be up, and you guys can tune in with me on YouTube. It'll be up on Instagram. It'll be up everywhere else. So that is what happened with the commentary. Now, here we go. 1st and 10 for Eli Manning. Hand off to Saquon Barkley. He's calling on Beyblades. He's letting it rip, but he cannot escape the defense as he'd be dropped by Darby for a loss of what should be 5 yards. Mass Spec says, quit streaming the porn, no crash. Well, if only that was the case. And about, I'd say 10 minutes ago, I stuffed my face with a gigantic plate of food. I haven't eaten that fast in years. It kind of resembled Goku and everybody in Dragon Ball Z who eats with such supreme speed. All right. Hellraiser says, you do your videos live? Yes, I do. All right, here we go. Hand off to Saquon Barkley once again. He'd be taken down after a gain of about 5. Let's give this a shot. And there you're looking at the players that are for the New York Giants who sit at, I believe at this point, 2-10. I believe they are 2-10 right now. So that is truly unfortunate for them. That football team has fallen into terrible territory. And I'll be headed over to Twitter World in a little bit. 3rd and 7 for the New York Football Giants. Eli Manning, which probably going to be his first pass attempt since week 2, takes the snap, looking towards his right. He cannot connect with Saquon Barkley. He's probably wishing he put 2 hands on, but the pass was behind him from Eli Manning. But they're going to both be sitting on the sideline asking himself, what happened to my hands? Such a shame. Such a shame. And shout out to all 63 people who are tuned in on the Hot Mic app. I appreciate every single one of you guys. Here we go. 4th and 7. The punt being sent back to the Philadelphia Eagles. It will not be returned. They call that poison, and it appears that the Eagles will take over at the 34-yard line. Eagles desperately need a win here. I'll tell you that much. They cannot afford not to leave with a W. Because the Cowboys find every single way to try to give the damn division back to the Eagles. And for some apparent reason, they can't win. Both these teams are suffering a 3-game losing streak. Samaj Rogers says, from your voice, I can hear the hate for the Giants. Well, yeah, you kind of can. You kind of can. Jordan says, what did I eat? I had some rice, brown rice with some beans with 2 gigantic pieces of chicken because, of course, and I am the stereotype, although they weren't fried, and some salad as well. So that was pretty nice. Go. Michael Rocket says, who do I think that OBJ will play for next year? You know what? I have absolutely no person in mind, but I think he can mess around and end up on the Patriots. Let's go over to Twitter World. And ladies and gentlemen, we are live on the Hot Mic app. If you have not downloaded the app thus yet, or I should say, if you did not, click those links in the description. Pre-register on the Android. Download it on the IRS. On the iOS. Sync me to your television and listen to me in live and in real time, in contrast to YouTube, where it's a little bit of a delay, about 1 minute. Let's go over to Twitter World and see what's going on. All right, True Psychotic Murder Log says, you deserve all the recognition. I appreciate you, brother. Tyson says, Nick Folk, I have better chances of seeing Steelers fans in a Vontaze Burfict jersey than seeing you make a kick. That is a good one. TJ Blaze says, that's tough. Bean says, do you think the Ravens basically have the 1 seed locked down? Also, Nick Durag. I can't say. Nick Durag. But I can't. Durag. But I can't say that the Ravens have it locked down. Although they have a 2-game lead right now over the Patriots, it seems as if that's the case. But nothing's over until it's over. Gap Tooth Assassin, always here for Hold My Nugget Studios. I appreciate you, brother. Always tuning in. Tyson says I meant to say Myles Garrett jersey. Either way, it works. Lamar Sorrell says, will my Rams become a victim of the death note? I believe they will. I don't think the Rams will be able to make the playoffs. Although I was extremely impressed with their performance yesterday. I did not see that coming. I thought Seattle was going to take care of business easily. Turns out I was wrong. Good job to the Rams keeping their playoff hopes alive. Second possession for the Philadelphia Eagles from the 34-yard line. Carson Wentz leaving from under center, going back into shotgun. He's got 2 receivers to his left. He's a play-action fake, looking back towards his left, throws up a duck in air. He had Alshon Jeffrey, who appeared to have beaten his cornerback by several yards. Had it not been raining, one has got to wonder if that would have been a touchdown. Restrain EJ says, is Antonio Brown going to be playing next year? Yes, he will. I think Antonio Brown returns to football next year. Who he plays for? To hell if I know. But he will be back in a uniform next year for sure. Sotomi Heat. I pronounced that wrong. But he says, what do I think about the Saints game? Best game of the season. All right, Miles Sanders fails to get away from the defensive line. He'd be stopped for what appears to be a loss of 2, setting up 3rd and long. One has got to wonder if the rain is truly affecting this game. You saw Eli Manning throw a pass behind Saquon Barkley on 3rd down. You saw Carson Wentz miss what should have been a surefire touchdown on 1st down, but given he was pressured a little bit. So maybe the rain is coming into effect in which we don't see, passes get completed the right way. All right, Dante says hello. No, Josh says hello. Dante says, how you feel about the officiating in the Chiefs and Patriots game? It was absolutely atrocious. Patriots got screwed on that touchdown. Carson Wentz, play action fake towards his right, dumps it back off towards his left. Miles Sanders would pick up 9 when they needed 10. The referees will stop him short. And that appears to be a full yard. We're going to see the Eagles probably punt here. But, of course, Doug Peterson, he walks around as if he has testicular cancer because he's got gigantic balls. So if there's a 4th and short situation in Giants territory, he will go for it. Let's see if they try to get them to jump off sides or if they're actually legitimately going to go for it. Jason Kelce getting a couple of blocks up front. Carson Wentz does not appear to have gotten the 1st down. I'll tell you that much. It appears they're participating in the Frank Costanza challenge because, he stopped short. I do not think they got it. They haven't gotten a favorable spot. The Giants are pointing towards the east. The Eagles wanted to go towards their west, but it turns off the Giants will take over, and they're going to be headed back towards the east, while the Eagles defense going to come out facing the west because it's a turnover on downs. Gerard Hammond says, do I want AB back? Absolutely not. Do not come to Pittsburgh. Stay away. We do not need that toxicity. Andrew Penalosa says, hey, Adonis, ready for these vintage Eli Manning highlights? You are correct. Hoodie Zay says, the Pats really cheating on the Bentley. Mark Ackerman says, your Steelers need OBJ. You know what? If Pittsburgh were to pick up Odell Beckham, I think I can deal with that because let's just be honest. In the 2 places that Odell Beckham has been, he hasn't had a coach outside of Tom Coughlin who can truly be that disciplinary sort of figure. You know what? God damn it. Carson Wentz extended that arm before he went down. That's a 1st down. That is a 1st down. That is a 1st down. I would hope that the challenge flag was on the floor. Matter of fact, no, all turnovers are reviewed, correct? Is turnover on downs considered part of that? We're getting the call from the officials. I believe they're going to review it, as they should. That's a 1st down. You know what? I apologize. Maybe they're not participating in the Frank Costanza challenge. Joseph Mendy, what's up, by the way? Says, would you sell your own merch soon? You know what? I got the logo done, as you see on your screen. All of the lettering and the catchphrases, I'm writing those out myself. Some other designs, I'll reach out to different sort of graphic designers. And if you are a graphic designer, DM me. All right, send me some of your work, and perhaps we can work together and come on some designs. I know for the Hold My Nuggets shirt, I definitely want to make that a dynamic shirt. I have a couple of other stuff that I have to get done, but the behind-the-scenes stuff, I want to get the LLC and everything done before I go and do it. But yes, the merch will be coming. I know it's been 3 years in the making. I've said I was supposed to go and do it. Lord knows I was supposed to go and do it, but my mind was all over the place. Finally, I've reached a spot in which I have some structure in my life so I can focus now. Instead of having to run around and try to make sure I could set things up, I think I'm reaping the fruits of my labor for at least a small microcosm of the fruits of my labor. So now I can finally, double down on the merch and get that done for you guys, because I know you guys have been waiting for the longest. You know how many people have hit me up talking about they need a shirt that says the Dreadlocks Power, or they need a shirt that says Hold My Nuggets, or they need a shirt that talks about Hold My Nuggets Incorporated, all those different stuff. I know you guys have been very patient with me, and I appreciate you guys for that. Tyler Martin puts 5 on it, says, why hasn't Dez been signed? And why did the Panthers fall apart? I'll tell you this much. Dez hasn't been signed because you have injury concerns, and then also, what do you expect to get out of Dez? In my opinion, if Dez were to step on a football field right now, He may not be your number one receiver, which I still believe he can be a number one receiver in the NFL on, well, not any football team, but about half of the NFL's football teams, he can at least be a number one receiver. But if he's your number two, he's top 5 number 2 receiver right now by default. I don't even want to debate anybody on it. By default, he's top 5 number 2 receiver. All right, and Cedric Tyler puts 5 on it, says, MJW voice, enough from the clown. I'll tell you this much. Dez, it's concerned about the injury because you had the Achilles, which is the toughest injury to come back from. So obviously that's very tough. And then, as I said earlier, nobody knows what his attitude is going to be. Is he going to be willing and is going to settle to play that the limited snaps or getting maybe 40 receptions on the season? So that's where the concern is. But Dez should be signed, to be quite honest. He should be signed. All right, wow. Turns out they did not give the Eagles the football back. Eli Manning dropping back, dumps the football off to Saquon Barkley. Can he make the Eagles miss? No, he cannot. He's tackled after a gain of zilch, zero, nada. Kevin Michael Von Magnum puts 5 on it, says, which teams are in your final AFC playoff picture? You know what? Oakland is now gone. Buffalo, and I said this on the Whole My Nuggets podcast. I had to put out a clip, but obviously I couldn't do that for obvious reasons today, recording the commentary all day. But Buffalo could mess around and lose that playoff spot. Because losing to Baltimore, you're playing against a surging Pittsburgh team, and then you have New England right after. I have Tennessee making the playoffs by far as a 5 seed. But Pittsburgh and Buffalo will fight for that 6. Handoff to Saquon Barkley, makes a couple of Eagles miss, carries it to the 25-yard line. But, alas, there is laundry on the field. Somebody threw out some yellow on the field. The referees are telling the Giants, come on back. Come on back. It's a hold on the offense. You thought you had a first down. It was a genjutsu. It's coming back. Deron Johnson says, what's up, Adonis? Congrats on the win. The Duck looks good from a Ravens fan. You know what? The Duck does look good, man. He looks confident. He looks poised. And more importantly, as Mike Tomlin said when he announced the Duck as the starter, said, man, he won't kill you. And he's not turning the football over. There are some, mental lapses when it comes to reading coverages and seeing people open. That comes with being an undrafted, rookie. That happens. But damn it, he's playing good enough football. And Pittsburgh, their most tenured receiver yesterday was James Washington. He's in his 2nd year. The job that Mike Tomlin has been able to do with these guys is absolutely sensational. Say what you want about Kyle Shanahan in the NFC West, but you can't deny what Mike Tomlin has to do. We talk about Coach of the Year. Come on now. Oh wow, the Giants could not complete that pass from the 49, setting up 3rd and 16. And the only reason why I give Mike Tomlin the nod of Coach of the Year over Kyle Shanahan is not because of my bias being a Steelers fan, but because look at both of the teams, what they have had to deal with, the adversity, and now where they are. All right, not to say the 49ers didn't turn around from a 4-12 season to now, number 1 in the NFC. Once again, they're number 1. But Tomlin's on his 3rd quarterback in a 4th string from training camp. No starting running back, no Pro Bowl receiver. You lost 2 perennial All-Pros as the Giants failed to pick up the first down. They're going to be down at the 43-yard line. They're going to have to punt. Nobody's going to kick a 60-yard field goal from there, especially with Aldrich Rojas of all people. So that's not going down like that. Did I say 60? That'd actually be 70. But, actually, no, it wouldn't be 70. It would have been a 60-yard field goal. Yeah, it probably would have been. But, so given what he's had to do, Packer Nation says Matt LaFleur, no. Originally, at the beginning of the season, I would have leaned more towards Matt LaFleur, but then I can't give it to him. Is it LaFleur or LaFleur? But whatever the case is, the Giants punting the ball back to the Eagles. It appears it's going to go into the end zone, but no, the fielding unit stops them. The punt unit stops them and fields them at the 3-yard line, I believe. Brian Farbert puts Forbert, pardon me. Is it Farbert? Is that how it's pronounced? Puts 2 on it. Says, who do you think can turn around and clinch the playoffs? Tennessee? Tennessee for sure. In the NFC, tell you the truth, Chicago now has life because Minnesota only got to mess around and lose. And I believe Minnesota has to see Chicago again. So I'm a little bit worried about Minnesota now because initially I said Minnesota and the 49ers will be the wild card. And I still believe the 49ers will be the wild card. I think Seattle beats them again. But I think Minnesota and Seattle will Minnesota and San Francisco will be in that wild card slot. However, Chicago's starting to surge a little bit at the right time. Say what you want about Trubisky. Over the course of the last, I think it was 4 weeks or something, he's playing very good football, man. Buffalo Fan for Life says, what about Harbaugh for Coach of the Year? You know what? He's in contention, but the problem is he's doing a great job with the Ravens, but Shanahan and Tomlin, they look better on paper with what they've done. With the Ravens, a lot of people did not expect them to be this good, but people expected them to be good. The 49ers, people thought they would improve. They never thought they would be as good as right now. The Steelers, everybody wrote them off a cliff after week 3, and here they are. So Harbaugh will get consideration. I just don't think he'll be able to win it. Damon Gibson says, wouldn't that be a great game in the playoffs, Vikings and 49ers? Well, if they're both the wild card, it's not going to happen unless by some miracle they both make it to the NFC Championship as the 5 and 6 seed. Now, if the 49ers maintain that 1 seed and they win the NFC West and clinch that number 1 seed, Minnesota being a 6 seed, if they win in the opening, in the wild card round, they would go on to play against San Francisco in the divisional. So perhaps that's a matchup that can happen. Danica Shuck says, I think Green Bay is inconsistent. Both the Vikings and Packers have questions. You are correct. But I think for some apparent reason, I feel it inside of my soul. The NFC Championship will be contended between the Packers and the Saints. And I feel as if the Packers or the Saints will represent the NFC in the Super Bowl. Seattle, I think they can probably make it to the NFC Championship, but their defense will fail them. Here we go. Following possession, I sound like I was on a damn I was a seesaw that needs some WD-40. But handoff to Thai food seasoning Jay Ajayi, and he'd pick up 2 yards. This man has not seen the field in quite some time. All right, I do know he came back to Philly earlier last month. I cannot recall if he got any carries the last game. So yeah, he is back, and I'm happy that he is indeed back. Ray says Denver Broncos wild card. What? 2nd and 8. Denver Broncos. Carson Wentz over the middle connects with Zachary Ertz. It's going to set up 3rd and 2. Denver Broncos. Ray, are you serious, Ray? Are you serious? Samaj says there was no carries against the Dolphins. All right, thank you for letting me know. And ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in on the Hot Mic app. We've got 71 in the room. I appreciate all of you guys. If you're just watching, consider commenting in the comment section and get some engagement going between yourself, the chat room, and also me. And everybody on YouTube, thank you guys for tuning in as well. We've got 310 in the building, only 107 likes. Let's see if we can get that like number up to 200. Hand off to, I believe that's Miles Sanders, who just now moves the chains for the Philadelphia Eagles. Back to Twitter world we go. Dylan Dunn says Colston for Hall of Fame. Marquise Colston definitely can make a claim. However, I do not think he will be able to get in. Because of how prolific the receivers of this generation has been and the amount of receivers that had to wait, because you have to be almost, the fact that Terrell Owens wasn't a first ballot makes you have to have some cause to pause for these receivers. If you're not a first ballot Hall of Fame receiver, it's going to take a ton of time. Calvin Johnson will be eligible very soon. Hines Ward is still waiting. Isaac Bruce has to get in. Torrey Holt has to get in. Steve Smith has to get in. All right, Chad Johnson probably will not get in. Hell, Steve Smith probably might not get in too. It's going to take him a while, and that sounds crazy to say that Steve Smith won't be a Hall of Famer. Larry Fitzgerald, when he retires, he's going to be a first ballot without question. But he also has to get in. There was another receiver who recently retired over the course of the last 5 years. Steve Smith, Calvin Johnson, There was another receiver, Andre Johnson as well. He should be a Hall of Famer, but they're probably going to make him wait. It's a very tough stretch for Marquise Colson. I do not think he'll be able to get into the Hall of Fame, but he definitely was a Hall of Fame talent. If you look at his numbers for how long he's been, his production, but unfortunately this ain't the 80s, so he's not going to make it. Miles Sanders, pickup of 6, setting up 3rd and 4. We got 143 likes. Let's see if we can get those like numbers up to 200. All right. Let's see. Back to Dylan Dunn says, not a fan of the Eagles or Cowgirls, but please Philly win the division so Dallas won't be in it. Hey, I think Philly beats Dallas in their next matchup in 2 weeks, but Philly just got to, honestly, if they could stay within one game, if Dallas keeps losing and Philly keeps losing and finally Philly beats them, they'll win the division at 7-9. But it's on Philly to go out there and win football games, and what we're seeing right now, that's not going to cut it. R6SX, Tempest, puts $9.99 on it. Came in from Hot Mike to show some appreciation. What do you think about the playoff picture for the NFC East between them boys and the Eagles? I'll say this much. I believe that Philly will win the division. I think Dallas wins 2 of their next, well, is it really 2 of their next 3? They only have 3 games left. So I think Dallas wins 1 of their next 3, and I think Philly wins 2 of their next 3. But because of the differential in the records, and I believe that Philly will defeat Dallas in their next matchup. I have Philly winning the division, but whichever one of it is, whichever one of them do win, they're getting clapped by either Seattle or San Francisco in that wild card round. Sorry, I just think that's going to happen. Daniel says, as a Niner fan, I'll be happy if the 49ers just go to the playoffs after years of suffering. You know what? You are correct. You are correct. And I have to say this about Patriots fans. This is the epitome of a fan base that is spoiled by winning. Because if you are a Patriots fan and you happen to be a teenager, your entire life you have seen them with winning records. The Patriots haven't had a losing season since what, 2000? 2002, when they didn't go to the playoffs. I believe they were 9-7 after they were trying to defend their Super Bowl championship. All right? You've seen them in 10+ wins since 2003. You've seen them in the playoffs since 2009 and only missed the playoffs 3 times this side of the millennium. And you boo them while they don't have the best team, so they can't put forth the best product, and you boo them on the field. This is what happens when you see so much success, and then the minute that you see stuff is starting to crumble, now you're salty, now you're crying, now you're whining. That actually bothered me, the fact that they were booing New England on the field, knowing that their roster is just not even that talented. The fact that they're 10-3 right now is a godsend. And Tom Brady, he has not been playing well at all. At all. If there was a cliff, it looks like he's just now hitting it. However, I'll never count out the Patriots because there's Bill Belichick and there's Tom Brady. How many times have we seen the Patriots lose late in the season, 2017, 18, 19? We've seen it. They lost when they lost to Miami right before they beat Pittsburgh in the Jesse James, is it a catch or is it not a catch? 2 years ago, we were talking about, whoa, were the Patriots overrated? Can they still make it to the Super Bowl? Maybe Tom Brady's going to hit that cliff. What happens? They make it to the Super Bowl, but they lose to Philly. Then, last year, back-to-back losses to the Dolphins and the Steelers. Well, it appears that the Patriots just hit their wall. They win the Super Bowl. What should you learn from this? Do not talk until you see them lose in the postseason, because all Bill Belichick and Tom Brady needs is an invitation to the dance, and all of a sudden they're going to start doing the merengue, the salsa, to a damn Lombardi trophy. Wait until the playoffs and them losing to talk smack. Don't say anything during the regular season. Sterling Shepard catches it for an 8-yard gain. Eli Manning, I believe this should be his second completion on the game. The Book of Eli. Great graphic. 0 starts missed due to injury in his career. All right, he was 3rd all-time in most consecutive starts, passing his brother with 210 behind Phillip Rivers, who's still active at 221, and Brett Favre at 297. Noah Matthews says, I can't stand Pats fans who complain. That's coming from a Lions fan. You're absolutely correct. You're absolutely correct. And here's one of the problems. And the Patriots' success kind of messed up football. And I'll say that because it's 20 years of utter dominance, right? So you're accustomed to seeing teams win. And, well, I should say seeing this team win. So why is it that I say that it kind of screwed up football? Any team that defeats the Patriots, all of a sudden, they're Super Bowl contenders. They're the greatest team of all time. They could beat anybody. It's as if the allure of the Patriots has now made every team in sports, or I should say all 31 other teams, have to chase them to where their level of success is only as good as the Patriots' level of success is. Look at Mike Tomlin. Honestly, he's a top 5 coach in the NFL. Everybody always calls for his head because he's not Belichick. But Belichick is the greatest coach of all time. Quarterbacks, we expect you to be in the Super Bowl every single year because you've seen Tom Brady do it 9 times in a 20-year career. So if you're a quarterback, look how we talk about Aaron Rodgers. He's only got 1 Super Bowl. You know how many quarterbacks have Super Bowls in NFL history? You got to be kidding me. 2nd and 2 for Eli Manning. Takes the snap, handoff to Saquon Barkley, first down. And I'm not saying that the Patriots, their success in dynasties should be shunned upon. No. You winning is sensational. And if you keep winning, you should. Teams need to step it up. In order to beat them, in order to beat a man, you got to beat the man. However, organizations have to stop comparing themselves to other organizations that continue to succeed if that organization happens to be the greatest of all time. Everybody wants Bill Belichick as a coach until you get Bill Belichick as a coach. I'll expand on that in a little bit. 1st and 10 for Eli Manning. It appears that Fletcher Cox may have came offsides. But, like I said, for Bill Belichick, everybody wants a Belichick kind of coach until you have Belichick. Why is that? He was ready to get rid of Tom Brady right before they went on to beat the Falcons. He was, matter of fact, no, he was getting ready to get rid of Tom Brady the season that they ended up beating the Seahawks. He was ready to get rid of Gronk the season that they went to the Super Bowl and beat and lost to the Eagles. He was always moving people a year before. So imagine if Bill Belichick was the head coach for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Ben Roethlisberger would have been gone. If he was the head coach for the Saints, Drew Brees probably would have been gone. All right, Eli's pass over the middle, incomplete on 1st and 15. It appears the referees are talking about, you see, now they come in and call it. But yeah, everybody wants somebody like Belichick until you get somebody like Belichick. And Patriots fans had better enjoy this. Enjoy this 2 decades of success. Enjoy it. Why? Because Patriots fans who are over the age of 25 and remember what it was like where they were pretty much the bottom, smacked in the Super Bowl against the Bears, lost in the Super Bowl against the Packers, really had no identity as an organization until Tom Brady, Robert Kraft, and Bill Belichick showed up. When they're all gone, you'll turn into the Cowboys if they don't win. Dump off from Eli Manning to his tight end, gain of 2. I think he might have fumbled on that play, but that was a hit. That was a great hit. Pickup of 2, end of the first quarter. We're still scoreless in Lincoln Financial Field. But yeah, honestly, Patriots fans enjoy it, man, because I'm pretty sure Steelers fans enjoyed it in the 70s. Packers fans enjoyed it in the 60s. And the Packers won 5 championships in the 60s. And what happened? The 70s and the 80s, they were virtually non-existent. They didn't go back to a Super Bowl. I think they went to 1 NFC championship, and I may be wrong on that in the 70s and the 80s. Then in the 90s, Brett Favre came and was a god throughout the entire decade. So you got to appreciate teams when they're happening, but don't sit over here and boo a franchise that's been winning time in and time out. Like, oh, we know we're better than this. Well, you're literally the defending Super Bowl champions. You're 10-3. Get your head out of your gluteal cleft. Good Lord. Shirley says that Julio's the best receiver in the league. I'm sorry. You know what? I'm one of those people who talk about sample sizes, but and I used to always say DeAndre Hopkins if we're not saying AB, but damn it, Michael Thomas? Michael Thomas is the best receiver in the league, man. Michael Thomas is the best receiver in the league. In my opinion, he just took that moniker and he ran with it. DeAndre Hopkins is still they're all top tier. Even though AB's on a couch, he's still in the top tier. It's 4 people in that top tier. It's Michael Thomas, AB, Julio Jones, and DeAndre Hopkins. In no specific order. You can interchange whoever is up there, but right now, Michael Thomas is number 1, man. Michael Thomas is number 1. DeAndre is number 2. Julio is number 3. And AB is number 4 because he's not playing football. But right now, it's Michael Thomas. That man is balling, bro. Michael Thomas is something different. He's looking like what AB did in the 2017 season, where AB would have been the NFL MVP had he not got hurt. And I stick by that. If Wentz didn't get hurt, he would have been the MVP. But once Wentz got hurt, it said, all right, there's Todd Gurley. But then Todd Gurley fell off a cliff in the month of December. Then there was AB. Had AB not gotten hurt, Tom Brady would not be sitting here with 3 MVPs. Michael Rocket puts 2 on it. Says, do you think Brady's time has come to an end? You know what? If he can't get it done in the playoffs this year, it's over. I'll say take the L out of love it. It's over, brother. Because at the end of the season, I do believe there's an option in his contract, or the Patriot. There's something in which something comes up. I think it's like an option or something like that. So I would not be surprised. I think this is the last year for Brady in New England. But it all comes down to the postseason. He gets them back to a Super Bowl, he's coming back. He gets them to an AFC Championship, he's coming back. But if he goes to the playoffs and he's a one and done and his performance is terrible, it's over for Brady. He's going to end up in a different team. But he will be playing football next season, I'll tell you that much. 3rd and 13 for the New York Football Giants. Eli Manning, who would have thought I'd say Phil. Eli Manning with the pass to his left, got his man, breaks a tackle, goes into the end zone. That might just be Slayton. Indeed it is. Touchdown Giants. Eli Manning has his first touchdown pass in weeks. Darius Slayton with the dismissal of the defense and goes in for the score. 35-yard touchdown. Peyton Manning is sitting there waiting to put this on his next episode of Peyton's Places. Look at the catch from Darius Slayton. Tells Ronald Darby, you cannot tackle me. Your dreadlocks mean nothing to me. And goes into the end zone for the Giants touchdown. However, we've seen the Giants lead in multiple games and lose. However, you should sit here and applaud them for getting a W. And ladies and gentlemen, we are live on the Hot Mic app as well as in YouTube as well. All right, if you have not downloaded the Hot Mic app for the iOS, do me a favor, click those links in your description on YouTube. Download the app, stream me live and in real time on your iPhone. And if you have an Android, pre-register for the app right now. It would mean a lot to aid Hold My Nugget Studios. Darius Slayton has been playing very solid this year, man. He has been playing very solid. Take a look at how he pivots right out of the catch. You talk about good awareness. That's good feet right there. Very good feet. Aisha Curry right now is upset that she can't, or I should say she's upset because Steph Curry's watching this game right now, and he just had a little bit of a light bulb go off because he might have triggered his foot fetish, because Darius Slayton had very good feet on that particular run. After the catch, whole lot of yak. Great pass from Eli Manning to get his first touchdown in what feels like 10 years. Jordan says, by the way, but NWO and Batista got into the Hall of Fame. Really? NWO and Batista? That's a weird mix. Well, then again, it's not like they're together. Like, oh, it's the NWO and featuring Batista. But good for Batista making it into the Hall of Fame. For the NWO, it's, I mean, how many times is that makes Razor Ramon and Kevin Nash two-time Hall of Famers. Oh, Hulk Hogan, a two-time Hall of Famer. That make X-Pac a two-time Hall of Famer as well. Now, when they said the Jordan, when they said the NWO, was it just the original 3, or was it also the Big Show? Well, I think, yeah, we'll go with those 5. The Giant, Six-Pac, Hogan, Scott Hall, and Kevin Nash. Let me know. 615 Random Goat puts 2 on and says, if the Pats had Breeze, what would the NFL look like? If the Pats had Breeze, Um, I think they probably would have a little. You know what? If the Patriots had Breeze, I think they might just have the same number of championships, man. I think they probably would have had the same number of championships. 2nd and 1. Play action fake for Carson Wentz. He should use his legs here. Why did he not use his legs? He could have ran and picked up that first down. He's playing in the Mitchell Trubisky, a first down challenge. Instead of just running across the damn marker and trusting my feet, I'm going to rather try to make an asinine pass or maybe run closer towards the sideline. That's ridiculous. Carson Wentz could have picked up that first down. That reminds me of the AFC divisional game between the Broncos and the Colts back in 2014, where Peyton Manning had all of the green in front of him. You would have thought he was at a bank, the amount of green he had in front of him. And rather than run, he tried to rifle the ball down the field to Emmanuel Sanders, and it was incomplete. Like, you've got to be kidding me. Was Emmanuel Sanders on that team, that 2014 team? I can't recall. But he tried to connect with somebody when he could have picked up a first down. But luckily for the Eagles, they are able to move the chains. Jordan says Hall, Nash, Hogan, and Pac. All right, thank you very much. Will says, yeah, it was just 6 Pac. Hogan, Hall, and Nash. All right, cool. Thank you for letting me know. First down for the Eagles. Derek Hill says, so Tyreek Hill's not a top 5 receiver. I would say Tyreek Hill is, but he's not in that top class with AB, Julio, DeAndre, and Michael Thomas. He's just on the outside. He's in that second tier that can ascend to that 1 tier with another great season of consistency, like Mike Evans and AJ Green and those guys. Zach Ertz wide open. You talk about lack of coverage. Giant secondary out there looking like Sprint. Somebody tell them to go change their cell phone provider, because that is unfortunate. This man could not be covered. Look at him right here. First off, something happened to Nelson Aguilar. Oh, I said Nelson Aguilar. Something happened to Alshon Jeffrey because he was limping the entire way. But wide open was Zach Ertz. Look how he sneaks past, goes right around Alshon Jeffrey, gets right past Janoris Jenkins, and picks up a big-time first down for the Eagles. But there should be some questions for the health of Alshon Jeffrey. Play action fake for Carson Wentz. He's got time, man. He's taking a shot. Going deep. Wide open is Zach Ertz once again, tackled inside the 10. Had this man had 90 speed, he would have been in the end zone. Great tackle by Alec Ogletree to stop him from going. How did Ertz get open again? You had trips towards the left. He ran the corner. Nobody was there covering him. This is great play calling, because take a look at the safety. The safety had to make a decision, and they had to cover that deep thirds. The slot corner went along in man coverage. That is great play calling right there from Doug Peterson. Brava at the 9-yard line, 1st and goal. My Lord. Here come the Eagles. Carson Wentz looking back towards his left. Run. Use your feet, Carson. Use your feet. Rolling towards his right. You got time, Carson. Throws it into the end zone. It would be caught for a touchdown, but it appears there is a flag down. They're dancing but not turning around. Ward is not looking at the floor because there is some laundry on the field. This man's dancing, unaware at the fact that there could be a holding call. There's holding on the offense. And it's coming back. I believe that should be Brandon Brooks. Yes, indeed, it is coming back. You've got to be kidding me. What was this man's doing? Rohan asks, is this week's highlight commentary out yet, Chiseled Adonis? No, it is not. It will be premiered after the game. In fact, I'm thanking you for letting me know, because now I can, process this to YouTube, because I have not put it up on YouTube yet to start processing, so it starts immediately after the game is over. So I believe everything here should be lined up. I'm not seeing any holes in the commentary here. And we should be good for a premiere afterwards. All right, and here we go. Handoff to, I believe that was Miles Sanders. Pickup of nothing. And there goes Alshon Jeffrey headed back towards the locker room. Oh, it got right off the car. Oh, my Lord, that could be the Achilles. That could be the Achilles. That could definitely be the Achilles. He was out for 2 weeks in week 11 and 12 due to an ankle, given the way the release happened, that could be the Achilles, man. That could be the Achilles. That's not what you want to see. 615 random goat puts 5 on it. Says, if the Saints had started Jake Delhomme like fans wanted them to before he left the Saints, do you think Breeze would have still been the Saints? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. They should not throw the flag for late hit on Alec Ogletree. That was a good tackle. But I'll say this much. I do think Breeze would have still been a Saint because Jake Delhomme, although he performed in Carolina, I think it would have just been in Carolina. He's one of those people who play very good in that system. Similar to what we see with Nick Foles. And I said this on the Hold My Nuggets podcast when Nick Foles moved to the Jacksonville Jaguars. I said, hey, if you guys were in Jacksonville expecting the same sort of magic, it's not happening. It's not happening. Teams have perfect fits with certain quarterbacks. 1 second on the play clock. Carson Wentz takes the snap on 3rd and goal. Get rid of the football, Carson. He's going to be sacked. At the 17, Philly will have to settle for a field goal. You talk about great field position. Back-to-back catches, wide open Zach Ertz, and a failure to read the damn coverages, a failure to read the defense, thus resulting in a punt situation, in a field goal situation for the Eagles. That is terrible. That is terrible. Jake Elliott on the season, 17 of 18, a long of 53. Only missed his first missed field goal was actually was that last week against the Dolphins? Apparently. Here we go. Jake Elliott lines up, kicks it through the uprights, and it is good. Fuzzy Fishnut says holding as in hold my nuggets. Haha. Noah Matthews says, I'm an athletic trainer, and I can confirm that's most likely his Achilles, but it's promising that he never went down completely. Yet, I think it looks very similar to what we saw with Sherman, but the only difference was Sherman went down 2 years ago when he tore his Achilles. So it's kind of tough. It's kind of tough. And the Achilles, as we all know, is the toughest injury to recover from in pro sports. So I wish Alshon Jeffrey nothing but the best, man. I hope he's all right. Shavang Patel says, Wentz looks like the Duke. I could be wrong. I made that joke 2 years ago. If you look up the primetime commentary between the Seattle Seahawks and the Philadelphia Eagles during the 2017 season, I made that joke. I remember it primarily because I lined it up side by side. Let's see. K34 437 says, didn't the Cowboys cut their kicker? Yes, they did. To Twitter world we go. Tyson says Sean Payton. For Coach of the Year. All right. Gap Tooth Assassin. If Joe Namath is in the Hall of Fame, then Eli should be in the Hall of Fame. No. Joe Namath had 173 TDs and 220 interceptions. Here's the problem. You can't compare errors because back then interceptions was not a big deal because quarterbacks were gunslingers. George Blanded threw 42 interceptions in the 1962 season. He still went to the Pro Bowl. That's still a record till this day, 42 INTs in a season. Back then, and if you saw how Namath played, although he threw all those picks, he always kept his team in the game. But his knees completely failed him. All right, when Namath was playing between 66, because the 65 season, his rookie season, wasn't too impressive. But between 66 and 72, when Namath was on the field, you can tell he was one of the better quarterbacks in the league. He was one of those people who could throw 4 INTs, but throw 2 touchdowns and be the reason why you won the game. Namath would be the reason why you lose or the reason why you won. Very similar to Brett Favre. All right, but you can't compare quarterbacks from then to quarterbacks from now. It's not fair. It's not a fair analysis. At the time, when you talk about top 10 quarterbacks, when Namath retired, he was top 10 when he retired. Don't only look at the statistics. Go back and look at the games. You can actually watch it. Go on NFL Throwbacks YouTube channel. They'll have it there for you. It's a little bit of a difference between Namath and Eli Manning now. It's hard to compare between the two. Gap Tooth Assassin says, because at the same time, look at Terry Bradshaw's numbers. He's a 4-time Super Bowl champion. You take Terry Bradshaw, put his same numbers and same sort of accomplishments, now he probably wouldn't be a first ballot, regardless of the fact that he was an MVP and a Super Bowl champion, because they compare it all by numbers. You got to go back and think about impact during those times. It's a little bit different. You can't judge the quarterbacks of the 70s and backwards to the quarterbacks of now. We judge quarterbacks completely different. Completely different. Because by that same logic, you might as well take majority of those running backs, and hell, take Marilyn Motley out of the Hall of Fame. He should not be there. Take Raymond Berry out of the Hall of Fame. He should not be there. Take Norm Van Brocklin out of the Hall of Fame. He should not be there. Take not Sammy Ball. You got to leave Sammy Ball in there. But yeah, all of those other, players from back in the day, if you compare them to players of now, you're doing yourself a disservice. David Radler says, what's going on, man? I'm happy that you tuned in. Amir Singh says he's in the building watching Raw and Monday Night Football, 2nd and 7. And Aaron Sherwood, I appreciate you. Put $1.99 on it. Did you hear about the Patriots spying the Bengals? I did not. Eli Manning going deep. He's got Darius Slayton. Big time pickup inside the 30. What a pass from Eli. Peyton Manning, high fives around the building. That looked very similar to the pass to Mario Manningham. And remember what I told you. Eli Manning will put on a masterclass performance for 2.5 quarters, and then he'll fall off a cliff. Remember I said this. Garrett Perez puts 10 on it. If Larry Fitzgerald had Drew Brees most of his career, he would have broke most of, if not all, Jerry Rice records. I wouldn't say all. I don't think he'd get Jerry Rice in the yards, as Darius Slayton would pick up another first down. It's all Slayton and Eli for the Giants offense. I wouldn't say he'd pass Jerry Rice in yardage. He'd pass Jerry Rice in receptions. Touchdowns, no, because Jerry has 197 touchdown receptions. I think Fitzgerald is at like 117 right now. And Drew Brees he stayed healthy for Majority of the time. So, that's a fair assessment. I think Larry would have passed Randy Moss and T.O., but I don't think he would have passed a majority of Jerry's records, because Jerry was on a whole other planet, man. Shepard picks up 6 yards, setting up 2nd and 4. Here we go. Eli is playing, and remember, I told you. Hey, Xavier, listen, man. I'm telling you, Eli's going to play good midway through the 3rd quarter. Watch the vintage Eli Manning come out. What's the vintage Eli Manning? INT, fumble and poppy, and we will see. Average time to throw is 2.29. So what does that mean? Eli's getting rid of the football early. Handoff to Saquon Barkley. Bounces outside. He has a chance here. McLeod takes him down after the Giants pick up a first down, and they're going to have 1st and goal from the 9-yard line. But it's the dreaded 9 yards with no opportunity of a first down. This is the worst sort of 1st and goal situation. 1st and goal from the 9, the 10, or the 8 absolutely sucks. C.J. Lloyd says, is Old Man Witten a first ballot Hall of Famer? You know what? I wouldn't put Witten as a first ballot Hall of Famer, but he is a Hall of Famer. Because Witten has never been one of those type. Oh, well, there it is. Would you look at that? Eli fumbled, but Saquon Barkley fell back on it. He fell back on it. I said midway through the 3rd quarter. Evidently, Eli said, I don't want to waste any time. Let's get this started now. Vintage Eli Manning. Xavier says, let me have this, Adonis. We haven't been good in years. You know what? That's fair. That's fair. Enjoy Eli passing the football well enough. Look at Peyton. He's sitting there like, you see what? See what happens when you don't got All-State? You're not in good hands. Then again, that's not Peyton. Is Peyton All-State? Peyton is nationwide. And it's not on Eli Manning's side, at least with that case. Or I should say it is, because he was able to recover that fumble. Here we go. Eli Manning looking towards the end zone. The pass is incomplete. What just happened? Did Golden Tate fall or was a pass behind him? That showed me shades of Super Bowl 13. Roger Staubach aiming towards the end zone for Jackie Smith, and he could not corral the football. Bless his heart, he's got to be the sickest man in America. Golden Tate wide open. What happened here? Was it tipped? Eli Manning's pass, dart over the middle. Did Malcolm Jenkins get a hand on it? Yes, indeed he did. Great job from Malcolm Jenkins, the two-time Super Bowl champion, making a play. Making a play. The Rajon Cajun puts 15 on it. Love your vids, brother. Keep up the amazing work and never change. Also, go Tigers. LSU, #1 seed. I'm excited for this upcoming college football playoff. And yes, I did see the championship Sundays, and I'll tell you this much. Wednesday, I'm going to try to get to some of those championship games. I'm going to see how many of the full highlights I can find. Great breakup from Jalen Mills. Jalen Mills with the breakup. But I'm going to try to get to those championship games. Because I know a lot of you guys have been begging for the college football. And yes, I plan to do it. And maybe in the offseason, I'll cover some of the games that had passed. So maybe you could get some Alabama versus Auburn highlights or whatever. But it was very hectic over the course of the last couple of weeks. But you know what? I'm a man of my word. I'm a man of the people. So perhaps you can get what you want. Joker says, me as a Giants fan and Eagles fan, best friend. Okay, let me read that a little bit slower. Me as a Giants fan and my Eagles fan best friend can both confidently say this is going to be the most boring Monday Night Football game this season. I beg to differ. I think there was a much more boring Monday Night Football. I think there was a blowout game. Matthew Parker puts $4.99 on it. Says, thoughts on the Texans' playoff chances, specifically on Bill O'Brien. Have you caught up on my hero and your top 5 favorite NFL players of all time? All right. Thoughts on the Texans' playoff chances. I still think they're going to win the division. However, that loss yesterday against Denver gives me some cause to pause. First and foremost, I'd like to apologize to the Denver fans because I said their defense was not as good as they were on paper. They shut me up this past week because they came to play and absolutely shut down the Texans, jumping up to as much as a 38-3 lead. All right? So for the Texans, they have to play the Titans, I believe, twice. I believe they played the Titans twice. And if I'm not mistaken, they're playing against the Titans next week. Indeed they are. So they play against Tennessee, then they play against Tennessee plays against the Titans. No, Tennessee can't play against the Titans. Tennessee plays against the Texans, then the Saints, and then the Texans again. Those are 3 very tough games for Tennessee. The Texans, they play the Titans, then they travel to take on the Buccaneers, and they close out against the Titans. You know what? I'm still saying the Texans will get it by a game, but I think the Titans will be in the playoffs. Bill O'Brien, I think he should retain his job because he's finally got the right team around him to make stuff happen. Did I catch him on My Hero Academia? No. I'm literally looking at the tab right here. Episode 2 is right here. I was supposed to watch it today, but my damn computer failed me. And then my top 5 football players of all time, number 1, Hines Ward is number 1. Peyton Manning is number 2. Barry Sanders is number 3. Troy Polamalu is number 4. And I would have to say number 5 would have to be... That's a toss-up, man. That's a toss-up. Maybe Adrian Peterson. Yeah, I think maybe Adrian Peterson. I think that'd have to be probably my top 5. And ladies and gentlemen, we are live on the Hot Mic app. If you have not downloaded the app already, click those links in the description. I'll do you one favor. I'll put it in the chat room for you if you have not downloaded already. On YouTube, we've got 428 in the building, but only 215 likes. Let's get those likes up to 300, please, and thank you. Here go the links for you. If you have not downloaded already, use the promo code Adonis. It is absolutely free. Let's keep those downloads coming. We've got over 700 on Hot Mic, and if you're watching on Hot Mic for the very first time, consider subscribing and following Hold My Nugget Studios. 1st and 10. All right, Miles Sanders running towards his right, pickup of 2, setting up 2nd and 8 for the Philadelphia Eagles. Jamil Meadows says, is Hines Ward a Hall of Famer? Yes, he is, but it's going to take him some time. Scott says, oh fuck, I'm going there now, dropping a hot beat or whatever it's called. Interesting. All right. Wesley Lowe says, is following the same as subscribing? Yes, indeed it is. If you have not followed me on Hot Mic, all 66 viewers in the building, if you can follow me, if you have not, I would be very appreciative of that. Carson Wentz using his legs. Pickup of about 4, and he's taking down, setting up what should be 3rd and 5. Xavier says, instead of Tim's, I'm putting on my black Air Forces. Are you trying to give power to the Giants? Steelers are the best team in the NFL. Fact says me. That's an interesting username. I wouldn't go that far, but all right. Forward thinking. Random Trainer X says, which division in the AFC and NFC do you think is the best decision? In the AFC, I would have to say the best division right now is the AFC South. In the NFC, it's the NFC West. 4th and 5, it's going to be a punt situation. Oh, no, the Eagles got a man down. It's Lane Johnson. He can't stand up. He is in all kinds of pain. What happened to Lane Johnson here at right tackle? There he is. There's the block. What? Oh, no, no, no! Ah, good Lord, that leg. That leg. Oh, Lord in heaven. Oh, Lord in heaven. The left leg, that could be an ACL, a MCL, a LCL, a PCL, a meniscus. Oh, my Lord. It could even be a fractured leg. That's not what you want to see. That is brutal. That is absolutely brutal. Oh, my Lord. All of that weight landed right on his leg, and that's the grueling position of the offensive line. This happens way too often, and that's not what you want to see. Oh, my Lord. That was brutal, man. That was absolutely brutal. I did not. Oh, good. Man, get well soon, Lane Johnson. That's a big blow to the Eagles. They need him out there. Oh, my Lord, that was brutal. That's not what you want to see. That is not what you want to see, ladies and gentlemen. Kesey, we can't say the Eagles definitely lost now. There's no guarantee. This is still football. Next man up. Somebody's got to step up and say, hey, man, I'm also in the NFL. It's time to, go out there and perform. Back to Twitter world we go. Lamar Sorrell says, did the Saints get exposed with the loss to the 49ers? No, because the 49ers defense was told to be legit all season, and the Saints, they took care of business out there. I'd say the Saints didn't get exposed. The 49ers just played a very, very, very good game. I just want to know what the hell was going through Sean Payton's mind when he decided to go for 2 after Jared Cook's second touchdown. Kenzie Dad says, why bad things always happen to Marcus Williams from the Saints? Asking from a Falcons fan. The man simply, his awareness must be on 0. It reminds me of Sean Davis when the Steelers played against the Cowboys in 2016, where he got the face mask on Jason Witten to extend their drive after Pittsburgh had just taken the lead. It's like, what are you doing? You've played football your whole life. You should know better. Nathan Zimmerman says, do you think the Eagles would have been better if Deshaun Jackson didn't get hurt? Absolutely. Absolutely. If Deshaun Jackson is there, the Eagles probably win 3 more games. And we're not even having a conversation about who's winning the NFC East. Lane Johnson somehow is still walking. Adrenaline is a mother. Oh, no, they got the replay again. Oh, look at the left leg. Don't look at the left leg. Ah, my Lord. Might just be, I don't even, it'd be odd if somebody says this is just a hyperextension. Oh, my God. That was brutal. 4th and 5, the Eagles to punt the football back. Charles Jackson says, how did we get exposed by Old Man Rivers? And you must be a Jags fan. It was brutal. That was a whole lot of necrophilia that game. Dylan Dunn says Kamara hasn't been the same since he got hurt. Correct. Him and Saquon Barkley both. Nicholas Rigoberto Smith says, love your work. Question, who are your top 5 head coaches in the NFL? That's a very good question. Bill Belichick he's one. Belichick, and then in no order because everything here can be shuffled. Top 5 head coaches in the NFL. And I'm going to go body of work, not just on this season alone. Belichick, Tomlin, Harbaugh, Reed, and Sean Payton. Those are my top 5. Cedric Tyler puts 5 on it. Adrian, F out of here. Mark Ingram, Peterson versus Mark, F out of here. AP Ingram, who wins in a fight? By far, Adrian Peterson. If you haven't heard stories about Adrian Peterson's firm handshake, you probably should look that up. All he got to do is get his hands on you, it's over. Saquon Barkley trying to spin gets taken into the end zone after a pickup of 1 yard. Was Fletcher Cox just playing the guitar? What was this man doing? Regardless, the Eagles have the Giants backed up inside their own 5. They're probably going to have it at the 6 here. But we'll have to see how the Eagles take care of business defensively because they desperately need a stop. Edgar Ocha says top 10 head coaches of all time. Number 1, Bill Belichick. Number 2 would be Chuck Noll. 3, Don Shula. No, 3, Bill Walsh. Oh, almost a one-hand catch by Golden Tate. Incomplete. It's going to be 3rd and 9. I'd say Bill Belichick, Chuck Noll, Bill Walsh, Vince Lombardi, Don Shula, Tom Landry. That's 6. George Halas. That's 7. Paul Brown. That's 8. There's some pressure coming on Eli. He's got to get rid of the football here. Going down the field. Pass nearly intercepted, but it's caught by Golden Tate. But he's out of bounds. He's participating in the Jeffrey Epstein Challenge. Could not get his feet down. It's incomplete. That's 8. John Madden, that's 9. Hilarious. Leon just said no John Madden. That's hilarious. Right on time. John Madden, that's 9. Jordan Murray, why would you say Lovie Smith? Why would you say Lovie Smith? Do me a favor. Go make some lovey to your hand in the bathroom, because go look at, well, that kind of came out weird. Go into the bathroom, look at your reflection, slap what you see. That's the love. Your hand to your face. Not the other kind of love that your hand would do. Of course, we ain't talking about that right now. And last but not least, who would be the 10th coach? The 10th coach. Probably the 10th head coach. Man, number 10. Maybe, you know what? Miles, I think you're right. Joe Gibbs. I think that's my top 10. Joe Gibbs. Brian, you're right. 3 Super Bowl championships with 3 different starting quarterbacks. Joe Gibbs. There it is. That's my top 5. That's my top 10. I'm gonna repeat it in a little bit, but just want to see. Don't ever, Hawkman. Don't bring up Jeff. Jeff Fisher is what Jason Garrett aspires to be. All right. The dump off from Carson Wentz to Miles Sanders, loss of 1. Here's my top 10. Would you stop it with Freddie Kitchens? All right. So Sean Payton, no. Sean Payton's not in that top 10. All right. I'll say this much. This is my top 10 head coaches of all time. Bill Belichick, Chuck Noll, Bill Walsh, Vince Lombardi, Don Shula, Don Shula, that's 5. Paul Brown, Joe Gibbs, not in any order. How am I forgetting the other 3? George Halas, Tom Landry. There's one more. I'm forgetting this other coach. There's one more. God damn it, I done forgot the last person. Jimmy Johnson, no. Jimmy Johnson, no. Marv Levy, no. Sorry, 4 consecutive Super Bowls, but still, you ain't win one. I'm sorry. Oh, John Madden, thank you very much. Those are my top. That's my top 10. Carson Wentz pass to Zach Ertz, pickup of 8, setting up 3rd and 3. Yes, John Madden. Yes, indeed. Those are my 10. I was trying to repeat it, and then I missed John Madden on the second one. Thank you very much for letting me know. Potatoes says, do you think the AFC or NFC will win the Super Bowl? I think this year the AFC wins the Super Bowl. Again. Matter of fact, no. The NFC wins the Super Bowl. Here we go. Now, I have the commentary is processing. Not sure if you could see it or not. It is processing on my phone, so I could send, so it could be a quicker upload for IG and Facebook. All right, top 10 quarterbacks to not win a Super Bowl. That's a very tough one. Good Lord. Well, top of the list by default will be Dan Marino. Number 2, I'd say Jim Kelly. Number 3, Phillip Rivers. Number 4, Dan Fouts. Number 5, Warren Moon. 6, and we're talking about Super Bowl era quarterbacks. So if you played in the 50s and beforehand, we can't mention you. McNabb, 6. Tony Romo. I'd say Mike Vick, but Mike Vick's career isn't as prominent as people make it seem as it was. Boomer Esiason. Good Lord. There's another quarterback in the 80s. Another quarterback who did not win a Super Bowl. Mark Brunell did win a Super Bowl. He backed up Drew Brees in a Super Bowl 44. I believe he was on that team and won the Super Bowl with the Saints. Mark Brunell was on that team. Yes, indeed he was. Mark Brunell was on that team. Steve Young won a Super Bowl, Kevin. He has 3. He had 3 with San Francisco, 2 as a backup. Somebody said Tom Brady because he never earned one. Oh, that's utter rubbish. Fran Tarkenton, yes, Fran Tarkenton. Randall Cunningham, yes. Not Neil O'Donnell. Neil O'Donnell gave away his Super Bowl opportunity. Bledsoe won he may not have started. Bledsoe won a Super Bowl as the backup for Tom Brady. I said Warren Moon, yes. Steve McNair, yes. I think that rounds out the top 10. Marino's number 1 on that list, though. 3rd and 3, 2-minute warning. Low snap for Carson Wentz. Looking left, pass broken up. And the Giants' defense coming to play. Good job by the Giants' defense. Can't believe somebody said Tom Brady because he ain't earned one. Gotta be kidding me. Who said Rex Grossman? What is the matter with you, Jordan Murray? Why would you say Rex Grossman? Ridiculous. No, Xavier Tarkenton was in the Super Bowl era. He lost 3 Super Bowls. Oh, with that Vikings team that lost 4. Oh, that was brutal, man. Jim Marshall, he's running the wrong way. That never gets old. It wasn't in the Super Bowl, but I still don't till this day. It bothers me the fact that Jim Marshall's not in the NFL. I think he played like 270 consecutive games. That's ridiculous. Jim Marshall's not in the NFL. You got to be kidding me. All right. Antonio Brown doesn't play quarterback. What about Stafford? It's way too early to call that. Oh, and kudos to Matt Ryan moving into top 10 all-time passing, I believe. I think no, he's I think he's top 10. He moved into the top 10 because he's the 10th quarterback to throw for 50,000 yards, or maybe he's the 11th. To throw for 50,000 yards. So kudos to him. Jim Kelly. I think I said Jim Kelly. Yes, I did say Jim Kelly. I said Marino, and then I said Jim Kelly. Yes, I did say Jim Kelly. Bernie Kosar was a victim of not only the Broncos, but that fumbleitis. And it wasn't even in his hand. I think it was Ernest Biner who fumbled the football. The punt would be fielded at the 16. There we are. Look at the playoff picture. Oh, my Lord, the Rams are at 8-5. So, as I said, I believe that Seattle and, or I should say the 49ers will drop to the wild card because I think Seattle's going to beat them again. I have the Vikings and the 49ers as my wild card team, but damn it, I'm concerned about the Vikings because you have the Rams at 8-5 and the Bears at 7-6, and both these teams can mess around and try to take that number 6 spot. Handoff to Saquon Barkley, pickup of 5 yards. They're probably going to give him 4 here. What do you guys think the final score of this game will be? I saw a lot of suggestions that came in, and everybody seemed to be leaning towards the Eagles, and I still do lean towards the Eagles myself. As I stated multiple times, I do believe that Eli Manning's doing a very stellar job, but midway through the third quarter, I think he's going to end up falling off of a cliff and costing the Giants this football game. Somebody said Cooper Manning. He didn't even get an opportunity to really play in college. And it's unfortunate because, to be quite honest with you, Cooper was the best of the Manning brothers. Even better than Peyton. And he played wide receiver. Cooper would have been on a prowl, man. Cooper would have been on a prowl. He was an absolute beast. I see a lot of people are turning the tide towards the Giants now. Saquon Barkley gets the first down at the 31-yard line. The Giants are in no huddle. They're hurrying to the line. They're trying to get at least a field goal before halftime. Oh, my Lord, we might have 12 people on the field. No, Eli Manning gives them enough time to get off the field. Eli looking left. Pass is caught. They're moving the chains once again. First down for the Giants. Could this be where the turnover comes? Darius Slayton's having a monster game, man. Charles says, man, Dick riding Peyton. Nah, man, but Peyton was something special, man. Peyton was something special. Eli takes the snap. Pass over the middle. Caught by Saquon Barkley. Pickup of 2 yards, setting up 2nd and 8. Nick Knorr puts 199 on it. Says, have you heard about Cooper's son? Yes, I did hear about Cooper's son. That man is balling. That's why I say Eli's the 5th best athlete in the family Manning. 2nd and 8. Manning looking towards his left. That would have been the one, Darby. That would have been the one. Pass incomplete. Electable Dane says Eli run for a 20-yard TD and wins the game at the last second. That's quite the declaration. Rohan says any of the first-year eligibles that have a chance to be a first-ballot Hall of Famer this coming year. Personally, I think Polamalu and Willis have the best shot. Polamalu, yes. Willis, no. They're going to make Willis wait. They're going to make Willis wait. I'll be shocked if Patrick Willis gets in on a first ballot. Not to say that he wasn't deserving of it, but I'll be shocked if he gets in on first ballot. Eli going for it all. Slayton is wide open. He's headed into the end zone. Touchdown Giants. They take a 16-3 lead. Everything is going well for Darius Slayton and Eli. Darius Slayton really out here with his nutsack exposed. First he had a 35-yard touchdown. Now he's got a 55-yard touchdown. Do a little bit of math. What does that mean? 90 yards, touchdown scores, and he's well over 100 on today. Breaks the plane, has possession. That is a touchdown. Eli Manning and the Giants are rolling in Lincoln Financial Field. Eli playing well in the first 2 quarters. Just give it 7.5 more minutes. 7.5 more minutes before Eli starts to go down the hole. It's going to be great to see. Enjoy it now. Scott says final score Giants 17-3. All right. All right. Look at the coverage here. Was he double covered? Oh, my Lord. Look at the... Everybody could have been open on this play. Are you kidding me? Is that McLeod in coverage? Who was the slot corner? Who in the world was the slot corner? Number 23 needs to be cut before they make it to the sideline. You have got to be kidding me. This man stopped his legs completely. Did not even drop back. Slayton got within 5 yards and he wasn't even moving. He needs to be cut. Bottom line, Darby, you played terrible, but 23, you've got to be kidding me. Kevin Michael Van Magnum puts 5 on it, says, what was the most painful Super Bowl loss you've witnessed? I would have to say most painful, probably Super Bowl 51, watching the Falcons blow that 25-0, 25-point lead, man. But if not the Falcons lost, the Seahawks lost. Because both these teams had it in their hands. Xavier says, Adonis, I think you need to say Eli is elite. Hell no, I ain't saying he's elite. You out of your mind? Are you crazy? Are you in a genjutsu release? Get yourself out of that. The matter with you? Is Eli elite? Hey, Jordan White's in the building saying hey again. All right. Matthew Parker says favorite Boondocks episode and character. Favorite episode? Probably... Let's take a, we'll revisit this a little bit later. Carson Wentz on 1st and 10, connects with Zachary Ertz, pickup of 5. Timeout from the Eagles, they still have 3. Favorite Boondocks character would probably be either Uncle Ruckus or Granddad. Favorite episode? Dr. King or probably the Dr. King episode. 2nd and 4 from the 31. Carson Wentz takes the snap. Looking to probably go deep. Dumps the football off to Miles Sanders. His hands just for decoration. Incomplete. 3rd and 4. Ja, I will never say Eli is a HOFer. And he's going to prove to you why midway through the 3rd quarter and through the 4th. Mark my words. Third and 4, 15 seconds left to play. If I'm the Eagles, I'll probably try to take a shot here, but I'm running the corner. Because you know those safeties got deep thirds. Oh my Lord, Zachary Ertz's hands are just for decoration. This man could have possibly moved the chains for the Eagles, but instead he's headed to the sideline, and he's definitely going to be asking himself, what happened to my hands? Man could not catch a damn cold in Antarctica. You got to be kidding me. You've got to be kidding me. How don't you catch that pass? The Pussycat Dolls once sung, don't you wish your girlfriend was hot like me? Well, turns out, Zachary Ertz asking, don't you wish you had butterfingers for hands like me? Ridiculous. And Edward Scissorhands is probably hoping that he did have butterfingers because he can't shake nobody's hand because that's a homicide. Ball is going to be fielded at the 15-yard line. That was Goddard. It was Goddard, not Ertz. Whoever the hell it was atrocious. Richard Sherman says, y'all better be careful with Eli. Yeah, all right. Joseph Lincoln puts 2 on it. Cowboys fan cheering on Eli right now. As you should. Sonic Deuce says, Super Bowl 53, the worst Super Bowl I've ever witnessed. Rams didn't deserve to be there, and they proved it. I'll tell you this much. I disagree. I disagree because defensively, the Rams played very well, and they corralled everybody except Julian Edelman. Offensively, Sean McVay'd himself out of winning a Super Bowl for Sean McVay. He was trying to be way too creative. He went into the game like, yo, I'm going to try to outsmart Belichick instead of running plays that have worked all season. If you go back and watch that game, you'll see the Rams offensively played completely different than they did through the playoffs and the season. It seemed like Sean McVay came into the game like, I understand Belichick is the greatest of all time. I really want to beat Belichick. So what I'm going to do is adjust to whatever the hell he throws at me. He made it easy for the Patriots. I'd have to say the worst Super Bowl that I've watched, probably Super Bowl 40 when Pittsburgh won. It wasn't very entertaining. It was not very entertaining. Or maybe when the Broncos got blown out by the Seahawks. Charles Jackson says if Gurley was 100%, the Rams win. Perhaps, but still. I mean, injuries is a part of football, so it is what it is, man. It is what it is. Shadow Cade says Tsunade, Mai, or Anko. I'd have to go Tsunade, without question. Oh, yes, the processing for the commentary is done. Let me move that over to the computer and start uploading this on all of the platforms. So, Caleb Smith puts 2 on it, says to Adonis, what happened to the commentary yesterday? Okay, I'll just touch on that right now. All right. Right before I go to a little bit of a break so I can go wash my plate because it's still sitting over here. I don't want to get dirty and mess up the plate. But this is what happened with the commentary yesterday. If you were unaware, get familiar. This is what transpired. All right, I was after recording for approximately 9 hours. Approximately 9 hours. What transpired was my computer crashed. I didn't lose anything except the entirety of the commentary. I was recording from 1 p.m. up until halftime of Sunday Night Football, and at the time, I was telling people to get on the L train. So that's the entirety of the commentary. Gone, zilch, zero, nothing, gone, everything gone. So I had to start from scratch. I'm trying to line up clips along with the audio and also re-recording new stuff as well. And as you know, there's 13 football games yesterday. So just downloading the clips, lining up the clips, it took forever. I've been sitting in this one position since 8:47 this morning. I ate for the first time today right before we came live on this stream. So right after the game is over, it will be uploaded to YouTube and premiered. So right after we get off here, the premiere notification should come up. You'll have about 2 minutes before it goes live, or maybe I might give people a 10-minute window. But the commentary for yesterday will be posted tonight right after the game, and I'm about to move it from my phone to the computer. So yeah, I'll be back in a little bit. And Philip Tapp says best QB from the 2004 draft, Rivers, Manning, or Big Ben? Big Ben, Rivers, then Manning. Accomplishments, Ben, Manning, Rivers. But when we talk about talent-wise, or who's put on, the best performance over the course of their career, Ben, Rivers, Eli. You can't discount Eli's accomplishments. You can't take away the two Super Bowls away from them. But if you look at their careers in retrospect and you look at on the field play, Rivers has been better than Manning, although Rivers has been a choke artist. But Manning, outside of those two Super Bowl runs, has done really nothing. But you can't take away Super Bowls. So I probably would put Manning over Rivers. And on top of that, Rivers don't got no jewelry to show for him. So yeah, I'd have to say Ben, Manning, and then Rivers. Josh says Manning, Ben, and then Rivers. You say Eli Manning's better than Big Ben? Look at Big Ben over the course of the last decade. Over the course of the last decade, and I'm talking about collectively over the course of the last decade. Just look at it. You'll be surprised. You'll be surprised. All right, but I will be right back. Damon, I see your comment about top 10 receivers not to win a Super Bowl. I'll be touching on that once I come back. So I'll see you in a little bit. All right, we are back, ladies and gentlemen, and we are live on the Hot Mic app as well. If you have not downloaded it already, download the app. The links are in the description. I'm also putting it here in the chat room. As we kick off the second half, Xavier says Eli just passed Big Ben in all-time TDs. Yes, Big Ben only played 2 games this season. When he returns next year and Eli is retired, he will take back his sole spot ahead of Eli. Josh says, honestly, if you consider Big Ben a Hall of Famer, only right. Eli is statistically, they have the same stat. Ben just had better coaches and players around him. Eli hasn't put Eli in Ben's shoes. You notice the difference. No, there's a little bit of there's complete. Over the course of this side of the decade, look how Big Ben has played. I'm not talking about only numbers. Look how he has played from 2011 to 2017. Hell, even last year, you can look at the sample size of top 10 quarterbacks. Big Ben is in there. Eli is not. This isn't being biased or anything. If you look at the production, the problem is you have him, Rivers, and Eli all have some similar stats, similar touchdowns, not too well in INTs and turnovers. Eli's very far. But if you look at production from there and the player perspective, you'll see the difference in the play. People thought Eli was washed since like 2014. 15 was a miracle season. And outside of that, he's been pure doo-doo. I'm not saying this because I'm a Steelers fan. But if you analyze football and you watch it, there is by far Ben is the better quarterback. Kevin Michael Van Magnum puts 2 on it. Says Lamar Jackson limited practice today quad. He'll still play. All right. Here we go. 17-3 in favor of the Giants. Opening possession in the second half. Eli takes the snap. 3rd and 10. Cannot get away from the pass rush. Goes down. He will be sacked. Remember what I said. Eli will play good for 2.5 quarters, and then midway through the 3rd quarter, he will prove to you why he is vintage Eli Manning. Why you cannot trust this man. Why he is Genjutsu Poppy. Telling you, just wait on it. Sonic Do, if you had to pick a running back for MVP, who would it be? Christian McCaffrey. Dalvin Cook has been playing extremely solid. Nick Chubb has been playing extremely solid. There's another running back. Why am I forgetting? Josh Jacobs has been playing very solid. Derrick Henry has been playing lights out as well, but probably Christian McCaffrey. But given that they have now lost, I think they're like 5-8, 6-8. No, they're not 6-8. They can't be 6-8. 5-8. Yeah. Probably if there was a running back I'd have to give it to now, maybe Derrick Henry. But then at the same time, their success is not all on his shoulders. Ryan Tannehill played a huge role in that as well. So if I had to pick a running back for MVP, I would not pick a running back. It was Christian McCaffrey. And now because he hasn't really done too much in the past couple of weeks, there's no more running backs. Josh says, and if he closes this game out, you got to put Eli as a Hall of Famer in your title. Why would I put that in my title? You know what? No, I'm not going to take up this bet because that's going to be goofy. Every other commentary title has never. You know what? In this playback, if he's able to close out the game, I will put Eli Manning as a Hall of Famer. We have a deal. I don't know what's going to be in it for me. I'll come up with some sort of stipulation. But you know what? I'll play ball. I'll put in the title. Don't mean I believe it, but I'll put in the title. Sonic Dew says Aaron Jones. No, I can't put Aaron Jones because on the team, Rodgers has been more valuable and more impactful than Aaron Jones, regardless of the fact that Aaron Jones is leading the league in touchdowns. I believe he is. But I can't give it to Aaron Jones. Miles Sanders tripped up. Here we go. Darian Freeman says, what about Zeke? Don't forget about them boys. Man, if you don't get out of here. Leon says, we'll all tweet out your video. Let's see. And it is currently uploading on YouTube, the commentary video. And we're sitting at what should be, and we've got 343 in the building, only 280 likes. Click that like button. We got 10 minutes remaining on the upload process for YouTube. Carson Wentz over the middle, pass broken up towards Zach Ertz, incomplete. Right, back to Twitter world we go, because we have not been over there in a little bit. Let's play a little bit of catch up, ladies and gentlemen. Let's play some catch up in Twitter world. Dylan Dunn asked, how was the George Kittle TD a TD? He dove over the pylon and then he passed it. He had scored already. Mark Ackerman says, Eagles traded the wrong QB. What a nightmare season for Wentz. It's supposed to be Foles playing right now in a Philly uniform. This is an ultimate genjutsu. I can't say they traded the wrong QB. I would have still rolled with Wentz as well. Foles was a beneficiary of some good teams that peaked at the right time. Last year, I'll attribute more to Foles. I will attribute more of last year to Foles. 2017, I think Wentz or Foles would have ended up with that Super Bowl trophy. But last year, I'll give a little bit more credit to Foles. However, I don't think they traded the wrong QB. If you look down the list of the entire season, Wentz has been dealing with injuries left and right. Up front, with his receivers, not really himself. He's had a couple of times where he was banged up, but for the most part, he's been relatively, healthy this season. He's missed a ton of throws, but I can't say they traded the wrong one. Yordi says, Drew Lock thoughts. I like Drew Lock, man. I like him. I have confidence in him. I have confidence in Drew Lock. I like the way that this kid plays. He plays very smart football. I'm a fan. I like Drew Lock. CJ Lord, what's your So what you're saying is Namath was like how Jameis is now? Yes. Yes. Jameis Winston is and I actually said that in my commentary video. You'll see it later tonight. Jameis is this generation's Joe Namath. Without the Super Bowls, without the guarantee, without the hose. But he got the crab legs. Tyson says, thoughts on the Saints' playoff chances. NFC Championship is their floor, in my opinion. Jamal says, Adonis, I was watching the Hold My Nuggets podcast. You and Marv are some clowns. Also, you're disrespectful for dissing the Raiders. If you have not seen it, I'm going to cut out that clip about the Raiders, and I'm going to put it on my YouTube channel. So for those of you who haven't followed the Hold My Nuggets podcast YouTube page, go ahead and give us a follow over there. Give us a subscribe. Amir Singh says, who's your favorite player in the NFL to watch right now who don't play for your team? For me, it's George Kittle. Reminds me of prime Gronk as a Pats fan. I would have to say the most fun player to watch in the NFL right now who's not on the Pittsburgh Steelers, probably Lamar Jackson. Probably Lamar Jackson is the most exciting at the current moment. Lamar Swirl says, will any of the wide receivers from the greatest show on turf make the Hall of Fame? Both of them, but it's just going to take more time. I think Isaac Bruce and Torrey Holt will be in the Hall of Fame in the next 8 years. At what point during the next 8 years does it happen? No clue, but who knows? Quarterbacks with records below 500 or below in the Hall of Fame. George Blanda. Wait, George Blanda's in the Hall of Fame? When did they put Blanda in the Hall of Fame? Oh, my Lord in heaven. I can't believe they put George Blanda in the Hall of Fame. Sonny Jurgensen, I know he should be in there. Joe Namath as well. But they put George Blanda's in the Hall of Fame. When did George Blanda go into the Hall of Fame? Interception Poppy. Done made it to the Hall. I had no clue George Blanda was in the Hall of Fame. This just proves my argument. All right, but wow, George Blanda, I am shocked. I did not see that one because that just messed my whole mental up. They put George Blanda in the Hall of Fame. My Lord. Ethan says top 3 current players that can still make the Hall of Fame despite not winning a Super Bowl. Phillip Rivers. No, not even Rivers. We're gonna go away from quarterback. Adrian Peterson, Steve Smith, Larry Fitzgerald. Oh no, not Steve Smith. He's retired. Adrian Peterson, Larry Fitzgerald, and I'll get to it in a little bit. Eli Manning, handoff to Saquon Barkley. He's tackled after a gain of 4. Adrian Peterson, Larry Fitzgerald, and I am stumped on this third name. I probably had to say Phillip Rivers. Because Rivers is borderline. Uh, Frank Gore. Thank you very much. I just saw the names here. I just looked down. Frank Gore. Those are the three. Gore, AP, Fitzgerald. Protector of the Earth X. What are your opinions on the terrible officiating this year, including the Chiefs and Pats game? First time the calls just don't go their way. Hey man, the refs have been atrocious all season long. Tyson, John Gruden. I think he must be in reference of the coaches that we were talking about. But yeah, no, not John Gruden. Love your NFL kicker jokes, but as a former kicker, this shit's harder than people think. They're still funny. Just had to put it out there. They are hard. It's hard to kick the ball, but you still have one job. 3rd and 4 for the Giants. Eli Manning takes the snap. It is still over. It's still over midway of the third quarter, so I can't say he's about to cost the team the game. But given that it's 9:49 left on the game clock, I'm telling you right now. Next time the Giants trot onto the field, if there's less than 7.5 minutes remaining, Eli Manning is going to transmogrify into the Eli Manning we remember as vintage Eli Manning. Turnover Poppy. It's coming very soon to a screen near you. Cam, Matt Ryan, Eli is never elite. You're correct, Bitter Samurai. Fly Guy Gray says the Giants will win 24-10. Bitter Samurai. Stephen Oates says Lane Johnson's injury is an ankle injury. That's shocking. Charles Jackson, my Jags are going to the death note. Our playoff chances have been deleted. Absolutely. Dylan Dunn says top 10 Super Bowls. That's a very good question. I'll get back to that a little bit. Charles Jackson said, are you doing the NFL awards in the John Gruden compilation this year? Yes, I am. Tyson says two things. Who do you think will beat Manning's TD record? Breeze or Brady? Breeze or Brady? Both of them. Who's gonna get it first? Breeze. Is Flacco elite? No. Let's see. Oh, Manda said I'm hilarious. I appreciate you, Manda. That means a lot. Thank you very much. And we caught up on Twitter World. All right. Dante says, do you think Malcolm Jenkins makes it into the Hall of Fame? No. I think it's going to be a very, very tough stretch for him. If Kenny Easley had to wait damn near 20 years, I cannot foresee Malcolm Jenkins making it anytime soon. It's going to take a very long time. ACP Awesome says, where's Pete Carroll in top coaches right now? He's not in the top 5 for me. I think he's just on the outside. What did I say the top 5 was? Belichick, Tomlin, Harbaugh, Reed, and Peyton. You know what? I might just move. I'm taking Andy Reid out. I'm putting. You know what? No, I can't do it because when we're talking about coach, I'm talking about body of work over the course of their careers. Pete Carroll's on the outside looking in. I got Carroll at 6. Boy, that's a tough one. He's top 10, but damn, Pete Carroll or Andy Reid. You know what? Pete Carroll won a Super Bowl, man. Andy Reid has been a choke artist in the postseason. You know what? I'm switching it. I'm putting Pete Carroll in front of Andy Reid. I'm taking Andy Reid out of that top 5. Yeah, I'm doing it. I'm taking Andy Reid out that top 5. Breeze was robbed of 2 MVPs. 2011, hell no. Aaron Rodgers was on a different level. He earned that one. 2009 against Peyton, I can make an argument that Breeze probably should have gotten it. So yeah, I'd say he got robbed of that 2009 one. Wesley Lowe, would you put John Stallworth and Lynn Swann as top 10 receivers all time? Hell no, not even close. When they retired, yes, but now, not even close. It'd be foolish to put them in the top 10. They're probably not even top 15. It's ridiculous how many receivers have usurped them. Carson Wentz takes the snap on 1st and 10 from the 28, throws the ball into the turf. Incomplete. Packer Nation says, I'm back. What's the score? 17-3 in favor of the Giants. Roughing the passer. On Leonard Williams, that's going to be 15 yards in favor of the Philadelphia Eagles. Let's take a look at this hit here. Ball was released. You know what? That's roughing the passer. This man turned into AJ Styles, hit him with a phenomenal forearm. What is he doing? What is Leonard Williams doing? He graduated from Ndamukong Suh University. That was just absolutely dirty. Put him in a jet dry commercial. What was the purpose of that? Joe, where does Megatron rank on wide receiver all time? I think he's probably at the top. If he's in the top 10, he's at 10 for me. Because he only played those 9 seasons. So the mystique of what he could have been kind of keeps it going. But damn it, Megatron was dominant when he was playing, but I can't put him in the top 5. And it's tough. The receiving list is so tight-knit. It's Jerry Rice in a different world, and then you start from 2 through 10. But oh wow, bad snap. Get down, Carson. Just get. Oh, they might have a face mask. 3rd and long for the Eagles. I'm surprised they didn't. Perhaps there was a face mask on that tackle there. Bad snap. Carson Wentz regained the football. Let me see this hit here. You know what? Perhaps there was a face mask there. Last King LJ says, my opinion on the NFL's 100 list, I think it's absolutely atrocious. I think it's absolutely atrocious. I understand the elder players between the 20s and the 20s and the 50s, deserve their recognition, but come on, man. Come on, man. LT is not in the top 10 running backs. He's not one of the top 12 greatest running backs. We talk about defensive backs. You don't got Charles Woodson on that list. You don't got Troy Polamalu on that list. You don't got Brian Dawkins on that list. Really? We talk about defensive linemen. There was a big name that was missing, and I feel like I'm forgetting who that name was. Linebackers, you got some names completely omitted. Curtis Martin wasn't even mentioned with the running back list. I think it's utter bollocks, man. I think that list is utter bollocks. We talk about returners. You got Billy White Shoes Johnson and not Joshua Cribbs? Really? Dante Hall doesn't even get a mention? You got to be kidding me. Philip Tapp puts 2 on it. Are you doing a mock draft this year? No. I don't follow college football like that, so I think it'd be foolish. Bren 2539 says, do you think Megatron can make it to the Hall of Fame? Yes, he will make it to the Hall of Fame. It'll just take him a lot of time to make it there. Warren Sapp. Yes, I think Warren Sapp didn't make it on the D-line list. That bothered me. Reggie White did make it. You can't say Reggie White. There's no way Reggie White wasn't on the all-time D-line list. There's no way Reggie White wasn't there. They omitted Reggie White. Are you guys serious? You guys are playing with me. There's no way Reggie White wasn't on this list. Thank the Lord this is a commercial break. I'm going to NFL's page right now. There is no way you're telling me Reggie White is not on the list. You guys are bugging. The defensive, Reggie White is there. Don't do that to me. Don't do that to me. Ian Mann's, the commentary is coming out right after the game is over. In fact, let me take a look to see how far it's processed. It's processing at 95% right now. So immediately after the game is over, I'm going to end this live, and then once we go over to we're going to go back over to the page, and we're going to have the premiering commentary. No, somebody said Reggie White. No, Adrian Peterson. Yes, that was bothersome as well. Jay Horror says, I'm the funniest man in media. I appreciate that. Let me get this uploaded and ready for Instagram and Facebook so they can get released right after the game as well. Because I know the people over there. And if you have an Instagram account and you have not followed me, follow me on Instagram and also follow me on Twitter. If you're not getting updates on YouTube, you can get your updates there. I'm extremely active on IG and also Twitter. So if you have not already followed me over there, do me a favor and go and do so. So you can keep up with what's happening. I just really hope this does not slow down my computer with all these uploading processes. All right. Let me take a look. The D-line list: Doug Atkins, Buck Buchanan, Joe Green, Bill Hewitt, Deacon Jones, Bob Lilly, Gino Marcietti, Merlin Olsen, Alan Page, John Randall, Leroy Selman, Bruce Smith, Reggie White, and Randy White. A lot of those names were should be on that list, right? But Warren Sapp not being there, that bothers me. Jared Allen not being there in a little bit bothers me. Linebackers: Chuck Benderrick, without question. Bobby Bell, without question. Derek Brooks, without question. Dick Butkus, Jack Ham, Ted Hendricks, Jack Lambert, Willie Lanier, Ray Lewis, Junior Seau, Lawrence Taylor, all make sense. Joe Smith, hell, that makes sense too. But Derek Thomas not being on that list bothers me, man. Derek Thomas not being there bothers me. Defensive backs: Mel Blount, Willie Brown, Jock Christensen, Darrell Green, Mike Haynes, Ken Houston, Dick Night Train Lane, Ronnie Lott, Ed Reed, Deion Sanders, Elmett Tunnel, Larry Wilson, and Rod Woodson. There's no reason why Charles Woodson and also Paul Krause is not on that. What is the reason for them not being there? Also, and that's just for corners. And no, that's the whole D-backs. So Troy B. Dawk, Paul Krause, who has 81 INTs. What was the other name that I said? Charles Woodson, who you can literally make an argument he's the greatest corner of all time, or hell alone, but you can make an argument he's the greatest DB of all time. Ridiculous. I just don't understand it. I don't get it. 3rd and 5 for the Giants. Eli Manning. Oh, we've passed 7:30. Vintage Eli Manning is now in effect. Pass over the middle, incomplete. The Eagles are going to get the football back. Paul Krause is not on the list. No Dwight Freeney, no Robert Mathis either. No Aeneas Williams. He did not make it. Patrick Willis did not get snubbed. If we're talking about Patrick Willis getting snubbed, you might as well you got to mention Mike Singletary first. If we're talking about Patrick Willis, you got to mention Mike Singletary first. If we're going to mention Patrick Willis, we got to mention Brian Urlacher first. There's a lot of people who got snubbed. Just don't be creatures of the moment. Packers fan in Vegas says Woodson's not the greatest ever. That's prime time. Sorry. No, I'm saying you can make an argument. You can legitimately make an argument that a DB, period. When we talk about DB, for example, Ronnie Lott is arguably the greatest DB ever because he played both corner and safety and was the best at both of those. Charles Woodson, you can make the argument he was the best at, well, more corner than safety. But he was still a beast, an absolute beast. You can make the argument. I still say prime time is, but you can make the argument. John says the Chiseled Adonis is the main streamer on this app, and I love it. I appreciate you, John, for tuning in. Urlacher was not on the list. Joey Porter shouldn't be there. Joey Porter shouldn't be there. We're not doing that. Straight Hand and Peppers didn't make it. That was a little bit bothersome for me. Best player from every team, asked Benjamin. That's a question that'll take some time. 2nd and 5. The Eagles gain 0, setting up 3rd and 5 for Carson Wentz. There was another list on the NFL all-time list as well. Let me go back. Emil Lugo says, I'm surprised they mentioned Patrick Peterson in the all-time QBs. All-time cornerbacks. They should. Patrick Peterson is an absolute beast. Beast. People they undersell how good Patrick Peterson has been for how long. 3rd and 5 conversion for the Eagles. They're moving the chains. Jerome Bettis did not make it. Jim Plunkett is not a Hall of Famer, but he should be. And that's my argument If we're talking about sheer postseason success, because that seems to be the argument for Eli Manning, we might as well throw Jim Plunkett in there. Phil Simms is not even in the Hall of Fame. Tim Harris says, "What about Kevin Green?" Kevin Green was mentioned. He was a nominee, but he didn't get it. Wide receivers list is really gonna piss people off. I'll tell you that much. The wide receiver list is really gonna piss people off. I'm waiting to see what happens with that list. I'm really waiting to see what happens with that list. And ladies and gentlemen, we are live on the Hot Mic app. If you have not downloaded the app already, do me a favor, click these links, download it on your iPhone, download it on your Android. Use the promo code Adonis. It's absolutely free. First and 5 situation, the Eagles would convert and move the chains. Remember what I told you. Eli Manning will have a masterclass performance through the first 2 quarters and halfway through the third. And here we sit, 17-3 lead for the New York Football Giants. But the Eagles are driving at the 32-yard line. Day says, make a video about your thoughts of the all-time team. You know what? I just might take you up on that offer. Carson Wentz connects with Ertz. They're going to be short of the first down. He's looking at his hands. It was indeed a catch, but he's looking at his hand, asking himself, what happened to my hands? What about the Lombardi for coaches? Arguably the best coach in history. No, Lombardi's not the best coach in history. Bill Belichick is. Lombardi, in my opinion, is probably, he's second or third. He's second or third. You have Chuck Noll. You have Bill Walsh. You have Lombardi. I think those 4, those are the 3 who are contending for number 2. Belichick, in my opinion, is number 1. And then, hell, even Don Shula, I think Shula's on the outside looking in when it comes to Lombardi, Walsh, and Noll. And Shula has the most wins in history. Aaron Sherwood puts $199 on it. Who's better, Patrick Peterson or Richard Sherman? Patrick Peterson. I'd say Patrick Peterson. Sherman had the benefit of staying on one side, along with, I believe it was Cam Chancellor who was on his side. But Sherman stayed on one side and continues to play one side. Patrick Peterson follows people around. That's why I say he was the best. He continues to be the best. Right now, I don't think he's number 1 corner. I'd probably have to lean more towards Kyle Fuller. But Peterson is a beast, man. Tim Harris says Hines Ward's one of the most underrated receivers. I'm not even a big fan of the word underrated, but I would say yes. During the 2000s, you heard names like Chad Johnson, Terrell Owens, Randy Moss, Steve Smith, Andre Johnson, Isaac Bruce, Torrey Holt, but a lot of people overlooked the how good Hines Ward was. And when we talk about blocking receivers, the way people talk about Larry Fitzgerald, that was Hines Ward. When we talk about a receiver who's able to go and block, because let's just be honest, if Hines wanted to go out there and catch 100 passes, and that's what was set out to be done, he can do that. But there was times in which the man only caught 80 passes, but had about 20 crucial blocks throughout the season that set up rushing touchdowns and aided the Pittsburgh Steelers in winning 2 Super Bowls and going to 3. No, Gilmore. Yes, thank you very much, K3 437. Gilmore is the best corner in the league. Sorry about that. Kyle Fuller is probably right behind him. Tim Brown is a hell of a receiver too, but the wide receiver list hasn't come out yet. I don't think it's come out yet. Night Move says Paul Brown is the best. I would love to say Paul Brown, but damn it, Belichick, his dominance, it's unprecedented, man. It's unprecedented. Nobody has had this length of success than Belichick. And he's got 8 Super Bowl rings. First down for the Eagles. They're inside the 5, and they carry it to the 3. Day says top 10 tight ends in history. Number 1, Tony Gonzalez. Number 2, Antonio Gates. Number 3, Gronkowski. Number 4, I would have, and I can make an argument Gronk could be number 2 over Gates. I don't put him over Gonzalez, though. You know what? I'm going to leave Gronk at 3. When we talk about most dominant in their day, Gronk is number 1 in most dominant tight ends of all time. You have Kellen Winslow, Ozzie Newsome, Mackey. Is it John Mackey? John Mackey. Shannon Sharp. Handoff to, I believe that should be Scott. Goes into the end zone for Dunder Mifflin. Boston Scott goes into the end zone. Touchdown, Eagles. They cut their deficit to 8. Jake Elliott to try to make it 7. Candace Leach puts 5 on it, showing some love, but want to say Eli is and always will be a damn bum. You are right, Candace. You are right. Shannon, 6. Brent says, who do you think is the best receiver behind Jerry Rice in history? Initially, I would have said Terrell Owens because I do believe I'd take Terrell Owens any day over Randy Moss. But I probably would give the lean to Larry Fitzgerald. No Heath Miller. Heath Miller is not a top 10 tight end all time. Jeremy Shockey, hell no. Kyle Rudolph, hell no. Dallas Clark, hell no. George Kittle. What? Oh, thoughts on George? George Kittle's very good. Jake Elliott kicks it through the uprights, and it's good. We got a 7-point game. 1:28 left to play in the third quarter. Boston Tea Party Scott. That is a nickname that was deemed by Samaj Rogers. I like that. Dave Casper. Yes, that's a very good tight end. Dave Casper. Dwight Clark. Nah, I can't say Dwight Clark. Dwight Clark would probably be at like the bottom of the 10. He'd probably be like 10 or 11. Yeah, it'll take some time. It'll take some time. Vaughton Hogan says most running backs should watch Falk's tape. He's what every GM wants these days. Absolutely. Falk was what Roger Craig was, but Falk was on a whole other level. Falk is the modern day. Falk is what teams have with a Le'Veon Bell when he was with Pittsburgh, with Todd Gurley, with Run CMC. That Falk was ahead of his time. Oh, really not ahead of his time because Roger Craig was ahead of his time, and Roger Craig should be in the Hall of Fame. The Dr. Genome puts 199, says Rivers over Manning, Bolt gang baby sarcasm. You know what? You have an argument. Day says should the Pats panic? Hell no. Hell no. Buffalo fan for life, Greg Olson? No. Amir says Jason Witten. You know what? He would be in the top 10 statistically. But when we talk about actual talent on the field, I can't put him there. But he is. Statistically, you can't dodge the statistics. It's way too early to start talking about these players now. Travis Kelce and George Kittle. It's way too early to throw them in the top 10. Don't be creatures of the moment. Top 10 quarterbacks of the 2000s is asked by the Blaziken Bro Boy. Top 10 quarterbacks of the 2000s: Brady, Manning, Drew Brees, Big Ben, Eli Manning, Matt Ryan, Brett Favre, Kurt Warner. No, not Kurt Warner. I don't fall for that genjutsu with Kurt Warner. And I'm gonna get to Twitter world in a little bit, Xavier. There's 3 more. There is 3 more. Aaron Rodgers. Russell Wilson. Eli Manning. There's 1 more. You know, I might just say Carson Palmer. I might say Carson Palmer. Yeah, I might say Carson Palmer. All right, 1st and 10 from the 25 for the Giants. Play action fake. Eli looking towards his left. He has golden shower. Tate to move the chains. Back to Twitter world we go. CJ Montalbano says the NFC East division heads feel like when two people hold the door open for each other and just keep saying no after you. Correct. Gap Tooth Assassin says put the whole NFC East in the Death Note. I plan to. Hoodie Zay says you're my favorite NBA players of all times. Mine is D Wade, Al Iverson, Shaq, Magic, and Kobe. What's mine? D Wade, Allen Iverson, and Shaq. That's my top 3. Ryan Clear, handoff to Saquon Barkley again. He's tackled after a gain of 4. Ryan Clear says, what are the chances of the Steelers beating the Ravens in Week 17, and what are their playoff chances? Can you comment on your show? I'll say this much. The chances of the Steelers beating the Ravens in Week 17 will be higher because Baltimore already clinched the playoff spot. And at the conclusion of Week 16, they'll know if they have the first round bye and home field advantage clinched throughout the entire playoffs. So if they have all of that clinched, I do not think John Harbaugh is going to start Lamar Jackson and have all of his starters playing. So I'd say it's favorable for Pittsburgh to beat Baltimore in Week 17 because the Ravens will have nothing to play for. I think they're going to clinch up that number 1 seed throughout the playoffs because they got a 2-game lead on New England. So really, next week they'll find out if they have it or not. So we'll see. We'll see. But I think Pittsburgh has a favorable matchup against the Ravens because the Ravens will have nothing to play for. But of course, you can keep a divisional rival out and your nemesis out. Hell yeah, you're going to want to play your people, but you don't want to risk an injury. Amir Singh says, should they rename the AFC Championship trophy to the Bill Belichick trophy when he finally retires because currently it's Lamar Hunt? I don't think they should rename it. I think the Coach of the Year will be named the Bill Belichick Coach of the Year Award. I don't think they have a name for the Coach of the Year Award, but they're going to name it the Bill Belichick Coach of the Year Award. I think you have to leave Lamar Hunt as the AFC trophy because he's the reason why the AFC ended up merging. The AFL merged with the NFL. And the Lombardi Trophy should stay Lombardi. I think Coach of the Year, call it the Bill Belichick Coach of the Year. Danny asked me if the Eagles make this comeback, I'm becoming a Chiseled Adonis patron because he predicted we would get some vintage Eli in the Eagles comeback. Well, I'm telling you, get your account ready. Oh my Lord! What a stiff arm from Saquon Barkley, little boy. Little boy, did you see what he just did to that man? The score is currently 17-10 with 22 seconds left to play in the third quarter. Look what get off of, don't you ever put your hands on me, 47. Get off of me. Oh my Lord, what a stiff arm. Only a gain of 1, but golly. Neutered on the football field, and we're going into the fourth quarter with the Giants leading the Eagles. 3rd and 5 situation, 17-10. Tyson said, I need your opinion on what decided a close game. Is it just the score alone or stats that go along with the score? Let me read that again. I need your opinion on what decides. I think you meant to say decides a close game rather than decided a close game. Is it the score alone? No, it's never the score alone. The issue is individuals who look at the score and look at the stats do not tell the story of the game. If you see a close score or a very close game, you must watch what transpired. Because let me tell you something right now. If I'm a quarterback and I end the day with 400 yards and I'm 7 for 8 for 400 yards and 4 TDs, you're going to be like, yo, he must have been killing. What if I told you I threw an 80, an 85, a 91, and a 76-yard touchdown, and all 4 of them were screens? Outside of that, I completed on the remaining of 5, or I should say my remaining 3 of my next 4 attempts. And all I did was like, oh yeah, it's just a short pass here, short pass here, short pass here. If you only look at the statistics, you're like, yo, he must have killed that defense. Nah, it was all a bunch of screenplays. So you have to watch the game to get an idea of what's actually happening. If you only look at the statistics, you're doing yourself a disservice and you're going to sound like a fool. That's why a ton of the pundits who get on your television screen, they only look at statistics and then they get on TV and talk about this is what happened, this is what happened, this person killed, this person did very good. That's not what happened. It's not what happened. Watch the games. That tells the story of why it's close. All right. Little known perfection puts 2 on it. Says Juice World. Bryce Smith puts 2 on it. Says Falcon Punch. Jamal says apparently the New England Patriots had 3 guys illegally videotape the Cincinnati Bengals during last week. Really? Well, vintage New England Patriots. Stephen Oakes says, what TE like Todd Heap or Chris? What tight end like Todd Heap or Chris Cooley in the top 10? None of them is in the top 10. Chris Cooley and Todd Heap are not in the top 10. James Smith says, which ring has more weight, Hall of Fame or Super Bowl? I have no clue. That's a question for Google. Mark Ackerman says, I still not believe that next year's WrestleMania is in Tampa. Do you know who's in Tampa? Nick Folk, put your motherfucking head back down. You're correct. True Psychotic One Murder Log says when someone mentions Kurt Warner as a top 10 in the 2000s, it's a trap. You're absolutely right. Kurt Warner had 5 good seasons in his career. 5 good seasons. And that was enough to get this man to the Hall of Fame. Terrell Davis, 4 good seasons. But you had at least with Terrell Davis, you had the mystique of what could have been. So, because you saw he was the greatest running back in the postseason of all time, so you could not deny that. But Kurt Warner, you had 99 through 2001, 2007 through 2009. That's literally it. That is literally it. Everything else, this man had a bunch of dips and holes in this man's career, and we put him in the Hall of Fame. Ridiculous. Now, as postseason, performances, we can't overlook that. We cannot. But you can literally write the story of the NFL. Well, you can't write it without Kurt Warner. He's a Super Bowl MVP, and more importantly, he has probably the greatest story in football. So I get it. But still, it's hilarious to me. 4th and 5. Did you see Eli Manning convert? No. Why? Because we have vintage Eli Manning in our midst. I'm telling you, the time is coming. It's only a matter of time before we see the vintage Eli Manning. Telling you, only a matter of time. Eagles trotting back onto the field. 14:48 left to play in the entire game. Did you see did the Giants do anything this half? No. Jake Novak says, how high do you rate George Kittle in TE ratings today? In TE ratings today, I probably have George Kittle right. I think I would put him above Zach Ertz, but still behind Travis Kelce. Kelce's the best tight end in the league. All time, George Kittle only had 2 seasons, man. It's too easy to talk about all time. Way too early to talk about all time. People, pump the brakes real quick, man. Let the dude play 5 seasons first. The Blaziken Bro, boy, puts 99 on it. Swing pass, dangerous swing pass at that from Carson Wentz. But first down for Philadelphia. Packer Nation says, what's the worst playoff performance by a quarterback in NFL history? Player and year? I would have this worst quarterback performance. Isn't that, the quarterback who played for the Cardinals when Carson Palmer was injured? Was that 2014? In the wild card against the Panthers. That was the worst ever. It was Lindley. I think it was something Lindley. It was atrocious. Absolutely atrocious. Tyrell Peoples puts 199 on it. Says, I just want to show some love to a brother trying. I appreciate you, brother. I appreciate you. That means a lot. 2nd down for the Philadelphia Eagles. 13:52 left to play in the game. Eagles trailing by 7. Giants 17-10. They've done nothing in the second half. Darius Slayton has been the sole bright spot for the Giants along with Eli Manning, but that came in the first half. Swing pass. Oh, my Lord, Janoris Jenkins. Give me your ankles. Oh, my God. Boston, Michael. What just happened? This man took his ankles. My mind just went blank. Janoris Jenkins touched the earth. Shave his dreadlocks. Oh, my Lord in heaven. Boston Tea Party. Go to Dunder Mifflin. Let's find Michael Scott with the ankle-breaking reception. Oh, my Lord. Amir says if Jimmy Graham stayed with Breeze, he could be top 10. I agree. If Jimmy Graham never left, he would have 100 touchdowns right now. Guaranteed. He would average 10 every single year. His worst mistake was leaving New Orleans. Oh my God, look at the ankle breaking. This man's a rogue podiatrist. Janoris Jenkins' hands touched the earth. He grazed his hands against the floor. His running back coach is telling him, yo, you ain't had to take his ankles like that, man. You didn't have to do that to him. He's got a family. I think they're in the front row. Remember when they found that dead body in his brother's house? Like, okay, here we go. 2nd and 7. Play action fake. Carson Wentz going short. Oh, my Lord. Jay Ajayi's hands just for decoration. That could have been bad. That could have been bad. What in the world did we just see? What an ankle-breaking move, man. Good Lord. Zane Yarnell says, was Jimmy G actually a porn star? No, he was sleeping with Kiara Mia. Mia? Yeah. Yeah, whatever her name was. I don't know what her name was. I just found out from TMZ. So yeah. Here we go. Darrell Robinson, is Antonio Brown all-time list? Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Antonio Brown actually is statistically, he's a top 10 receiver all time. And if you look at impact, he's a top 10 receiver all time. He is Antonio. It's a shame. It really is a shame what Antonio did, man. It's a shame how he conducted himself and what happened. He'll be back on the field next year, so hopefully he can close out that final chapter. But Antonio Brown was on pace for some, oh my Lord, you talk about crazy numbers. It's going to be crazy. 1st and 10 from the 44-yard line. Carson Wentz looking to take their receipt to the sperm bank and get a comeback. Play action fake. You got to get rid of the football here. Dumped off to Boston Scott. Couple blockers out in front. He picks up an Eagles first down, a gain of 17. The Eagles are rolling. 11:28 left to play. The same fans who were just booing, standing up on their field, ponchos on their body, clapping it up a little bit, hands moving in motion, saying it's a first down. You may have it confused as if you're somewhere in what team does this? Is it the Chiefs? Oh, I'm not sure if this is the Chiefs. This is college football or something. I think who does that? Who does that? I have no clue. Somebody let me know. Whatever the case may be, it's a first down inside the 30 at the 28-yard line for the Philadelphia Eagles. 11 minutes left to play. Handoff to Miles Sanders. Loss of 2. They're going to have 2nd and 12 from the 30-yard line. Samaj Rogers says thoughts on Trotter. Jeremiah Trotter? Acura 3113 says, not sure if you mentioned T.O. Would you consider him top 10? T.O. is top 3. I have Terrell Owens higher than Randy Moss because I believe Terrell Owens was the better, he had the better football career. Randy Moss was the better pure gift receiver, but T.O. was just crazy. Terrell Owens, Antonio Brown is Terrell Owens in this generation. You talk about hard worker. Carson Wentz almost had a sensational play just now, man. He almost had a sensational play just now. You talk about Houdini. The man ducked a whole giant and almost got it into the end zone. Look at this once more. Great. It was a terrible block from Miles Sanders, but great chip. Carson Wentz dodges Ogletree, but that should have been a touchdown, man. This is all Carson Wentz here, man. This is all Carson Wentz. Remember earlier, who was it in Twitter world? Said, hey, they traded the wrong quarterback. It should be Nick Foles who's leading this team. We'll see. Night Move says Florida State and the Chiefs. I had Seminoles in my head, but I didn't want to say it. I felt like that was stupid. Samaj Rogers says, thoughts on Trotter? Yes, Jeremiah Trotter. He was solid for when it was. Noah Overton says, thoughts on Mike Thomas? I think he's the best receiver in the league right now. Slightly edging out DeAndre Hopkins. Hoodie Zay says D-Rose wins it at the buzzer. Really? He shakes Drew Holiday and sends the Pistons home with a stunner. I got to watch that right after. TJ Blaze says, I'm hoping to see the ankle snap x-ray in the primetime commentary. You will be seeing it. Jay says it's Florida State. It's called the Tomahawk Chop. And how you feel about Julio and where he ranks. I feel sensational about Julio. Julio is definitely in the top 10. He's played him way into the top 10. He's kicked out some of those old-timers straight out the top 10 because you can't deny how good Julio has been. I think AB and Julio Jones are in the top 10 receivers of all time. On the outs, DeAndre Hopkins is playing his way in there. Bryce Smith, 10, puts 10 on it. Says, will Eli Manning turn into his normal Gohan choking self? Or will let me read it the right way. Bryce Smith puts 10 on it. Will Eli Manning turn into his normal Gohan choking self? Or will he finally achieve All-Star instinct and become the best player on the Cowboys this season? Become the best player on the because he's going to keep the Eagles out and become the best player on the Cowboys this season. Find out on the next episode of Dragon Ball Z. Yes, but there's a challenge on the field. Wesley Lowe. Chisel, please put from the east to the west for that ankle break. Hey, I just might. Back to Twitter world. Miles says, who are your top 3 players that had great potential but got injured? Mine are Arian Foster, Jamal Charles, and RG3. I would say best players with ruined by injury. It's kind of hard to say Gale Sayers because he's in the Hall of Fame. So Billy Sims. Jamal Charles. Who was the quarterback for the Browns? Was that Brian Sipe? Was that his name? Was it Brian Sipe? I feel like it was Brian Sipe was his name. The old quarterback for like the Bengals or the Browns. Is it Brian Sipe? Who was that old quarterback? Yeah, Brian Sipe. Yeah. Yeah, Brian Sipe. I'd have to say, yeah, Brian Sipe. I think he ended up getting hurt, and then that's what kind of derailed his No, not Brian Sipe. Not Brian Sipe. Wow. Wow. I don't know who the third person would be. Somebody who got hurt. Bo Jackson. Bo Jackson. Thank you very much, guys. Bo Jackson. Jamal Charles, Billy Sims, Bo Jackson. I don't know why I didn't think of Bo Jackson. Manuel, the commentary's going up right after the game. They challenged for defensive pass interference. They did not get the call. It's still going to be 3rd and 11. Philly at least has another opportunity to get rid of this football. 3rd and 11 from the 29-yard line. They are in field goal range, but it's going to be a 48-yarder. Pardon me, 47-yarder. And here we go. Play action fake. Wentz rolling towards his right. Got to get rid of the football. Throws back towards his left. Pass into the end zone. It's dropped. It's dropped by Ward. Hands just for decoration. Should have been a touchdown. I don't believe the defender got his hands on the football. And once again, the Eagles fall victim to terrible hands by their receivers. Holy Toledo, that should have been a TD. What a pass from Carson Wentz. How do you drop that football? He's looking on his hands on the sideline. Would have hand to my hands once again. Hands come back to haunt the Philadelphia Eagles, but do not fret. It is the 4th quarter, and Eli Manning is here. Jake Elliott's field goal's wide to the left. It's no good. Brassman put $4.99 on it. Next time, 2 teams end with a tie. They both have participated in the Chiseled Adonis Death Note regular season. Well, I can't put them in the Death Note if they're a contending team. Jake Elliott is no good on the field goal. Oh, my Lord. Ward's hands just for decoration. And I said there's some cause to pause for this field goal, and it's wide to the left and no good. But remember, this is still the Giants coming back onto the field. It's raining outside. Your quarterback's Eli Manning. He has the football at the 37-yard line. And here come the New York Football Giants. Eli takes the snap, play action fake. Vintage, oh, he goes down. Sack, loss of 7, down at pardon me, loss of 12 down at the 25-yard line. Aaron Sherwood puts 199 on it. Vintage NFC East. You are correct. This is where it starts for Eli Manning. I told you guys. Remember I said it. He'll play good for 2.5 quarters and then fall off of a cliff. And we're seeing him head towards the cliff. Oh, my Lord. Curry just disregarded 2 Giants. Here we go. Manuel, yes, the commentary for yesterday's games. It'll be posted right after this game. Antoine Tate says Patrick Willis Hall of Famer. It'll take him a long time to get in. Razzlepus says, who do I have coming out of the NFC? Either New Orleans or Green Bay. I feel in my soul that the 49ers will have a shootout in the playoffs but just come up short, and I feel like Seattle's defense will fail them, whether it's in the divisional or it's the NFC Championship game. I think both teams in the NFC West, meaning the 49ers and the Seattle Seahawks, will have games that come down to the wire and they lose when they had opportunities to win. That's just how I feel. Not to say that they're not capable. I just feel as if it's going to be one of those any given Sunday sort of games and they mess around and lose on the last possession. Colton says, did the Patriots get screwed? Yes. Ryan Arnold says, my top 10 favorite Super Bowls. Number 1, Super Bowl 43, Steelers and Cardinals. Number 2, I'd have to say Super Bowl 38. Panthers, Patriots. 3, Super Bowl 49, Seahawks, Patriots. 4, Super Bowl 34, Rams, Titans. 5. That's a lot to come down to. 5, Super Bowl 13, Steelers and Cowboys. Scott Peterson puts 5 on it. If the NFC East winner posts a losing record, they should be DQ'd and let the teams with the best 2 records that didn't make it play for the 6th seed. I disagree. You have divisions for a reason. You got to win your division. People have tough seasons. I don't think you can disqualify somebody and do away with the entire seeding process because they suck this year. What is the percentage of every team having a division in which they're under 500? It's less than damn near 3% in the history of the NFL. So it's foolish to say do away with it now. I don't like that. Super Bowl 52 was all offense and barely any defense until the end. I didn't really like Super Bowl 52 that much. It was cool, but I felt like, damn, can the defenses make a play? And finally, they got one at the end. I don't even think there was a punt. Eli Manning looking right on 2nd and 21, connects with Sterling Shepard, brings it back to the 33-yard line. Saints and Colts was not Super Bowl 48. That was Super Bowl 44. 3rd and 14 for the New York Football Giants. 9 minutes left to play. Eli Manning in shotgun formation. Only bad things can come from this. He takes the snap, but there's a 3-man rush. It's a delayed handoff. It's a flea flicker. Eli still has the football. Dumps it off to Saquon Barkley, running towards his left, gets out of bounds. Loss of 1 yard. Damn it, I say Eli should have Eli got this close to losing the football, ladies and gentlemen. Eli got this close to losing the football. Super Bowl 47 thoughts. I believe that was the game between the Broncos and the no, that was Super Bowl 48. Super Bowl 47 was the Ravens and the 49ers. That was an all right Super Bowl. It was decent. It's not really memorable. Outside of, if you're from Baltimore or San Francisco or you happen to work on the electrical staff in the Superdome. Flag on the play on the punt. ASAP Corey says, how do I feel about the 49ers win yesterday? Oh, my Lord. That was a beautiful game. Best game of the season. Miles on Twitter World has to say, who are your top 3 players that had potential? Oh, no, I did that. Hoodies A says, that brought a tear to my eye. I love D Rose, the biggest what if in all of sports. You know what? I got emotional when he scored 50 last year. I got really emotional when he scored 50 last year. I sat there like, if I had a reservoir in my tear ducts, I would have probably shed a tear. But I was so happy for that man. Knowing what he's going through and he's still out here fighting. D Rose could possibly be the first NBA MVP to not make it to the Hall of Fame. And damn it, I hope he keeps up whatever streak he's got going right now of where he continues to ball. I hope he makes it to an All-Star game. He should have been in the All-Star game last year. Damn it, D Rose, all respect to him. He keeps fighting. Mark Ackerman says the Atlanta Braves in baseball also do the Tomahawk Chap as well. Tyson says Goku or Naruto. Goku all the way. Naruto has a better story, though. TJ Blaze says EDP is losing his mind right now. I bet he is. I just hope he's not taking his pants off. As Carson Wentz goes to the ground on a sack, setting up second and long. True psychotic one. Murder Log says the Eagles receiving core look big hands. Yeah, they got rocks for heads. That's what they got. Night Move says this game is ass. DeWillie Smith says best dual threat quarterbacks. I would say Frank Tarkenton, Randall Cunningham, Michael Vick, Steve Young, Cam Newton, Lamar Jackson. I feel like I'm missing one name. I'm definitely missing one name. Cordell Stewart. That's what I was missing. I had another bottle of water here. Here we go. 7-11 left to play. Carson Wentz has to make a play here. PUBG Killer 6969 says, what's my all-time O-line list? That is a very good question. Center, I'd probably take Jim Otto or Mike Webster. At left guard, give me Gene. Give me Art Shell. Give me Art Shell, then give me Gene Upshaw at left tackle. I think it's one or the other. At right tackle, I believe that was Larry Allen who played right tackle, or maybe Anthony Munoz. Give me one of those guys, and then at right guard. Who would I put at right guard? Alan Faneca, maybe? Because I'm forgetting an all-time right guard. It's escaping me. Nicholas Lowe puts one on it. I appreciate you. Anthony Munoz was a left tackle. All right. Yeah, I probably put him there. Joe Thomas plays left tackle. Here we go. 1st and 10 following the penalty. Pickup of 1 for the Eagles. What the hell just happened to Dallas Goedert? This man just doing breakdancing over there. Larry Allen was a right guard? Really? Huh. I didn't know that. I thought Larry Allen was playing. What do you know? 2nd and 8. Oh, it was a guard. There it is. I'll probably take Larry Allen then. Otto, Upshaw, and Shell. There we go. Over the middle goes Carson Wentz to Dallas Goedert. He does not put the football on the ground. He picks up 7 when they needed 8, setting up 3rd and 1. So if Munoz is a left guard, left tackle, I'm probably taking Munoz, Mike Webster as my center, Upshaw or Shell, whichever. I think it was Upshaw who played left guard. I'm taking Larry Allen at right guard. And at right tackle, who would I put at my right tackle? I don't know who I'd put at my right tackle. 4th and 1 for the Eagles. Under 5 to play. Carson Wentz does sneak and pick up the first down. Josh says, why does the NFL use this system? It does for the playoffs. It could just use a ladder system like most of the sports use. Well, the NBA ended up changing it because they used to have it by divisions as well. If you remember the 2003 NBA playoffs where Dallas and San Antonio both had 60-plus wins but ended up playing each other in the divisional round because of the seeding of the divisions. So you ended up getting what should have probably been the Western Conference Final in the divisional round, in the semifinals. All right, and that was brutal. It was a great series. In the NFL, it sounds good until you find yourself in a situation where a lot of teams, because if I don't think it'll work. I think it's better to just keep it the way that it is. Just win your division and you'll be fine. Carson Wentz throws it on the move, and the pass incomplete, setting up 3rd and 4. William Cola is an asshole. He said put Lizzo as your right guard. Oh, my Lord. You are hilarious. You are hilarious. I might just do that. You are hilarious. Clarence Isaacs Jr. says, who would you put as the player who absolutely screwed up his career? Maurice Claret. 3rd and 4. Wentz takes the snap. Looking to go deep. Oh my. Oh, there's a flag, but still makes the catch. Here we go. The Eagles on the move with the defensive holding call. Xavier says no vintage Eli Manning. Don't talk too soon because the Eagles may be driving, but there's no guarantee that they will not have to give the football back to the Eagles. Give the football back to the Giants, pardon me. Ryan Clear puts 5 on it. Would you rather have Trump as president for the rest of your life or Cody Parkey plus Nick Folk as permanent kickers until they're 50? I mean, either one of those don't really affect me. That's kind of drastic. Have Trump for your president for the rest of my life. That's kind of like president for life sort of situation. So I'm pretty sure they end up being a coup d'etat. Cody Parkey and Nick Folk as permanent kickers. I guess. I mean, you can't really be a permanent. I mean, that's on them. If they like tendonitis in their knees. Wide open is Dallas Goedert inside the 15. Eagles in business on the move. 3:30 left to play. And here we go. Back to Twitter world we look. Jay says, are you doing commentary for the New Year's Six Bowls? Yes, I am. Bill Conley says there should be an 8 playoff. That's interesting. 1st and 10. 3 minutes left to play from the 13-yard line. Wentz takes the snap over the middle. It's caught. Broken tackle. He carries it to the 2-yard line. He's going to be downed at the 1. If I'm Philly, I'm running it up the gut. I'm not taking a pass situation here because you mess around and get that shit picked. Do not throw the football. Run the damn football. Do not throw the football. Run the damn football. 1st and goal for the Eagles. Carson Wentz connects with Ward, who on the last possession, he was asking himself, what happened to my hands? And thus leading to a missed field goal from Jake Elliott, his 2nd of the season. Miles Sanders, Dallas Goedert backed up. We're in an I formation. Ertz going in motion. Handoff to Sanders. He does not get in. He's going to be down after a loss of 2 yards. And it appears we might just be going to the 2-minute warning. Now that it's 2nd and goal from the 3, here's what I might do. All right, I'm coming back out in the I formation. But this time around, I'm running the play action fake. And I'm throwing it weak side. What I'm going to do is have a tight end. I'm having 3 tight end formation. All right, I'm bringing in 3 tight ends, and I'm going to run out of the I. What's going to happen is everybody's going to assume run. What we're fixing to do is have the weak side tight end run the drag going across the field, whether he's on the right, whether he's on the left. Run the play action fake opposite him. Have it seem as if he's trying to go get that chip or that crack block, and he runs shallow. He should be wide open. Razzlepuss says Philly special time. Now is not the time to call for the Philly special. Xavier says we low-key messing up our tank. No, they're not. They're playing football. One of the biggest things that I despise in football is football fans hoping that their team loses so they can draft higher and better seeding. I'm just a man of honor. I could never imagine walking onto the field and having an organization or a fan tell me, hey, can you guys lose because I heard we're going to have a great player coming out of the draft. What? Hell no. I'd rather go 0-16 losing on last-second field goals than to get blown out every single doggone game and go 0-16 smiling because I know we got the number 1 pick. I'm sorry. That's just me. That's just me. I want to compete every single time. If I'm going to lose, you're going to have to beat me. I ain't going to lay down for nobody. Daryl says, do a video on Alistair Overeem. I plan on doing it. I plan on doing it. Cause his lip was wild, man. His lip was wild. Hoodies A says looks like no vintage Eli Manning today. Don't speak too soon because if the Eagles score immediately and they score right coming out of the 2-minute warning, we're going to see Eli, and then you're going to see a vintage Eli Manning. James Smith, all conference championships should have the opportunity to play for the national title with some large bids. That's my opinion about college football. You know what? That's fair. That's fair. Here we go. Dante says QB sneak. I don't think that's a good call. Two minutes left to play. Coming out of the second quarter in the return game for Eli Manning. 2 touchdown passes, a 35-yard TD to Darius Slayton, only to throw another 55-yard TD to Darius Slayton, but all this in the first half. The Giants have done virtually nothing in the second. It's been all Philly. However, they failed to convert on their last possession to get into the end zone. 2nd and goal from the 3-yard line. Shotgun formation. Trips to the right for Carson Wentz. Rolling towards his right. Look back towards his left. He does not. The pass is broken up. Antoine Bethea will break up here. What a breakup. What a breakup. Old man Antoine. And he was throwing it towards Ward. I don't know why he would target Ward. Ward's hands are just for decoration. Now that it's 3rd and goal, because this is 4-down territory, if I'm Doug Peterson, I might just run the draw if we're in shotgun formation. Are they in empty? He's under center. Here comes there's 3 tight ends on the left. There should be Ertz wide open. Touchdown over the middle. TD. Philly cuts their deficit to 1, but remember, Jake Elliott just missed a field goal. The kick will be from 33 yards out. We will see Eli Manning again if the Eagles decide to kick to him. Xavier says he should have gotten that pick. Well, it's kind of tough with one hand in the cold. What a pass by Wentz. Great catch, great hands by Ertz, and Philly looks to tie up the game here. But it comes off of the toe of Jake Elliott. 14 play, 85 yards, 6-minute and 17-second drive. for the Philadelphia Eagles to possibly tie it up. Jake Elliott's field goal is good. We've got a tie game with under 2 minutes left to play. Oh, Adonis, the Giants are going to win the game. Oh, Adonis, the Eagles ain't coming back. Oh, Adonis, they're up 17-3. The final score is going to remain. Oh, they're not going to make it vintage Eli football. And here we are. What did I tell you? The Giants were going to fall off a cliff after the doggone midway of the third quarter, and here we are. They at the cliff hanging on for dear life. What do I think is going to happen? I think the Giants are going to try to go down the field and possibly try to get into field goal range in order to possibly kick a game-winning field goal off the toes of Aldrich Rojas. But will they get there? It's a possibility they could. But remember that it's Eli Manning who's playing a quarterback, so the more attempts that he has throwing the football, what can happen? An INT, a fumble. We fixing to find out shortly after this messages. You ain't got to worry about what's going to happen because I already done told you what's going to transpire. Eli Manning will be the reason as to why the Giants lose. And that's not a prediction. It's a spoiler. It's not a threat. It's a guarantee. I'm not just sure. I'm HIV positive. You're going to hepatitis C. The Giants lose this football game because Eli Manning will continue to be vintage Eli Manning, and Giants fans who came out here and cheered all doggone day for the first 30 minutes of the football game going to be eating their doggone words. I'm telling you right now. Book it, Vince. Book it. Josh says the play clock hit 0, then they hiked it. We've seen that all season long. People, the play clock hit 0 and then it's hiked. We've seen it all season long. Now's not the time to complain. And shout out to all 75 people in the room and hot mic. Shout out to all 500 in the building on YouTube. We got 357 likes. Let's see if we can get that to 400. Everybody who tuned in on Hot Mic, if you have not tuned in before to Hold My Nugget Studios, do me a favor and hit that follow button so you can keep up. We go live at least twice a week, every Thursday night football game, every Monday night football game, and if things can work out, in my favor, perhaps every Sunday night football game. We'll be live every single playoff game as well. If you have not followed me already on Instagram, on Twitter, and also on YouTube, go and do that to keep updated on all things Chiseled Adonis. Imperative that you follow me on Twitter and on Instagram. We are approaching slowly the 50,000 mark. On YouTube, we are slowly approaching the 150,000 mark. On Twitter, we're slowly approaching the 10,000 mark. So we've got nothing but milestones, and it is up to you guys to make it happen. Tie game with under 2 minutes left to play. The Philadelphia Eagles come back after scoring 14 unanswered to cut their deficit to 0, really, because it's a tied game. Eli Manning making his first start since week 2, coming back and pretty much having the farewell tour, knowing that these final 4 games might just be it. He says he does not want to go into coaching. He does not want to go into mentorship. He does not want to sit on a bench as a backup. He wants to be a starter. He wants to play. The Giants most likely will not be going in that direction. I don't think he's looking like a sexy pickup for any other organization, so this might be his last hurrah, his last opportunity to walk into Lincoln Financial Field and walk out with the W. Can the Giants pull off the victory after the Eagles are looking to take their receipt to the sperm bank because they want their comeback? We'll find out what happens. 1:53 left to play. Here comes the kickoff. Well, that's kind of anticlimactic. The football falls off the tee again. Somebody's got to hold that football. I was ready to get going, and now the football done fell off. This is like talking a gang of trash all day to a harlot, only to find out that you had erectile dysfunction and it was undiagnosed. Can you just kick the damn football off, please? Ridiculous. Shavang Patel says Hail Mary TD for whoever wins. Well, we'll find out. Come on, man. The ball gonna fall off right there when I'm on a roll. You gotta be kidding me. TJ Blaze says, how did you just get all that out so fluently? I'm not just sure I'm HIV positive part. Hey, man, I grew up watching the WWF and WWE. I just know how to cut a promo. Wait until 2 weeks from now when the Jets play against the Steelers. I'm going to that game. I try to resell my ticket. Unfortunately, nobody bought it. I even dropped it down to 50 Dura after buying it for like 80. Trying to see if somebody could sell it so I could have one of my friends come with me to the Jets game and then possibly record me as I, go and do the pregame stuff because I want to record when I'm inside of the parking lot. I'm not going to be talking trash. I don't do that. But if there's Steeler fans around, if they recognize me, then by all means. But here we go. 1st and 10 from the 25-yard line. Here comes Eli Manning, baby. He's going to take the snap, twins towards his right, throws it towards the right, is caught by his man, pickup of 7 yards. Does Eli Manning have a miracle? Trying to keep his hands dry. There's a flag on the field. There's some laundry on the field. This could possibly be roughing the passer. Defensive play. Oh, boy. Wait a minute. This could be defensive player. A hit on a defensive player. I think they might just pick up the flag. Well, there's no foul. Shermer is not happy on the sideline. He's like, I'm getting fired because of this. Let's take a look at the replay and see what our verdict is. That's all shoulder, man. That's not no defensive play. That's great call by the refs. Great call by the refs. That's all shoulder. That's football, baby. 2nd and 3 from the 32-yard line. It seems like Eli Manning's fixing to pass the football once again. There is no safety. Eli drops back, launches it towards his left. Incomplete. No flags on the field. 3rd and 3, 1:35 left to play. The Giants cannot afford to give the football back to the Eagles. 3rd and 3, you know they're going to throw here. I do not foresee them, or can I see a circumstance? I cannot envision a circumstance in which they do not throw this football. There is the Manning family. Peyton Manning hiding behind somebody else in the stands. I think that could be Peyton Manning's mother. Whatever the case may be, he's sitting there like, come on, Eli, don't mess this up. I don't want to have to go to Peyton's place and say, when I came to one of your games for the first time in some years, I saw you go out there and throw INTs. I saw you go out there and put the football on the ground. I saw you go out there and throw the football into the dirt that turned into an incompletion where you gave the football right back to Carson Wentz. Maybe I should adopt him as my little brother. So we'll see what happens coming out of this injury timeout, I presume. 3rd and 3 situation. 25 seconds on the play clock. Tonight, the Giants are 2 for 11 on 3rd down. Your boy Yosef says when you posting a commentary right after the game is over. The premiere, I'll tell you right now. 11:35. Here we go. Eli Manning on 3rd and 3. Drops back to pass. Looking towards his left. It's broken up. What a play. Incomplete. Eli Manning, zilch, nada, nothing in the second half. Did he turn it over? No, he did not. But did he get them past the marker? No, he did not. And when you need somebody to make a play in the 4th quarter, who do you expect to make it? Not Eli, because that's vintage Eli Manning. Football into the dirt. Defender said, get that out of here. Get that out of here. Do you not see the dreadlocks? Darius Slayton been disrespecting the Lord of Dreadlocks all game long. And finally a play is made. That could have possibly been a catch interference. But onto the field come the Philadelphia Eagles. They can only win the NFC East. There is no possible way to qualify for the postseason if they do not win the NFC East. And onto the field comes Carson Wentz. Questions about if he should be the guy. Questions about if they should have traded him away for Nick Foles. Questions if Nick Foles is really the big Richard in the room when it comes down to the Philadelphia Eagles. Can Carson Wentz take him to the promised land? Is he overrated? Is he underrated? Is he the man? Here's an opportunity. Monday Night Football in front of everybody. Carson Wentz on 1st and 10. 1:25 left to play in your own backyard from the 24-yard line. Trips to the left. Here we go. Big time football. Carson Wentz takes the snap, throws it back towards his right. It's caught by Boston Tea Party Michael Scott, who carry it for a 1st down to the 36-yard line. Philly is on the move. 1 timeout remains for them. 3 timeouts for the New York Giants. The Giants cannot use their timeouts because that would stop the time for Philly to deliberate on what to call. So from where we're standing right now, the best chance for Philly is to utilize their sidelines. Pass thrown towards the left. It's broken up in the direction of Ward. He cannot corral the pass. Jake Elliott's made a 61-yard field goal, and that is an Eagles record. When was that kick made? Against the Giants to win the game as time expired. I believe that was 2 years ago. The man's rookie season, he went on to go and win a Super Bowl. They didn't win the Super Bowl because of this man's toe, but he's got a ring on his finger. He's been there. He's done that. Can he go and do it once again? We saw him line up for a field goal earlier today. He missed it from 48, 47, 49, whatever the case was. It was wide to the left. 2nd and 10 from the 36-yard line. Trips to the left once again for Carson Wentz. He takes the snap. He's got time. No, he does not. He's sacked. He throws the ball. It's ricocheted into the air, but it's batted down and incomplete. Great job by the offensive line getting involved there, making sure the ball hit the floor. There was Golden utilizing his dreadlock powers once again, trying to get to Carson Wentz. In the first quarter, Wentz was there. Golden he was able to escape Golden. Then on the second attempt, Golden took him down, and here we are on 2nd and long. Golden had an opportunity to intercept the ball after it was ricocheted into the air by Leonard Williams. Here we go, 3rd and 10, 49 seconds left to play. Motion man is Zach Ertz. If I'm them, I'm probably hitting somebody in between the numbers. Carson Wentz steps up. He's hit. He connects with Ward. Is that Ward? Who is that? I'm not. Oh, no, that's Perkins. He's going to be tackled, man. They're short here. There's no timeout coming from the Giants sideline. 4th and 1 situation for the Eagles. If I'm the Eagles, I'm letting this roll down, man. I'm letting this roll down. Your defense has virtually shut down their offense the entire doggone game. I believe the Giants used their final timeout because they're waiting to see what the hell the Eagles were going to do, but they waited far too long. Then again, I can't say they waited too long because if you took the timeout at 35 seconds, you give the Eagles an opportunity to, hey, let's deliberate and see if we want to go for it. With 17 seconds left, if the Eagles decide to go for it, the Giants with 2 timeouts have enough time to possibly call a couple of plays and get closer into field goal range. If I'm Philly, I'm punting this football away. I'm punting this football away. You've only got 1 timeout. If you're going on 4th and 1, you don't want to have a situation where you take a 3-step drop because your receiver's not going to have enough time to get open. Or matter of fact, they could get open, but who's to say you're going to have enough time to get to the sideline? Because defensive backs are taught in this sort of situation, leave the sideline, tackle them inbounds. Then you only got 1 timeout. Needless to say, you're not going to get beyond the 50. You don't want to be without timeouts with probably about 13 seconds left to play. Better decision is to punt this football, but they must protect here. There goes the punt. Good protection. It's most likely going to be fielded inside the 10-yard line. It goes into the end zone. It's going to be a touchback. The Giants most likely will take a knee here. We're going to overtime. What does overtime mean? There's another opportunity for Eli Manning to come onto the field and play offense. What does Eli Manning on offense mean? Another opportunity for him to vintage Eli himself out of a W. All right, I told you guys before, we will see vintage Eli Manning. I told you guys before, the game will come down to the wire. I told you guys before, we're going to see Philly walk away with this here W. And damn it, here we are going into overtime after Carson Wentz scored 14 unanswered. Eli Manning walking to the line. He's fixing to go take a knee, and we are going to overtime in NFC East football, where the Philadelphia Eagles currently sitting at 5-7, right behind the Dallas Cowboys, who are 6-7, trying to keep pace in the NFC East. So much for commentary being released at 11:35. Looks like it's going to happen at maybe 11:45. Overtime rules. If you are unaware, there's 1 period. It's 10 minutes. Each team has the opportunity to possess the ball unless a TD is scored or a safety is scored. What does that mean? First person to score in the end zone wins. All reviews are only by the replay official. There is no challenges. You only have 2 timeouts as well. What does that mean? You go down the field. You kick the field goal. We won. No, you didn't. This isn't 2006, Gerald. It means you got to score a touchdown in order to win. Here we go with the coin toss. What is going to be the call? Visiting team is the Giants. They will make the call. Tails is the call. It's heads. The Eagles will receive the football. And back onto the field will be Carson Wentz. Will it be Carson Wentz? Will it be Carson Wentz, or will it be Eli Manning? Will it be the young Super Bowl champion or the old Super Bowl champion? Although Carson Wentz ain't playing that game. But regardless, we will see who walks away with this W. The Eagles have defeated the Giants, I believe it was 6 consecutive times. Electable Dane says, I hope they tie for the memes. You may be right. Javante shares me saying this is such a drag. Bren 2539 says, if you had to be a fan of another football team that isn't Pittsburgh, who would you choose? When I was younger in the NFC, I cheered for Carolina. So most likely it'd probably be Carolina or New Orleans. It most likely would be Carolina or New Orleans. I loved Reggie Bush coming out of USC. So when he went to New Orleans, I was cheering for New Orleans to win if Pittsburgh didn't. And also Carolina as well, because I adored Steve Smith. So I'd have to say those two teams, one of those two teams. Most likely Carolina or New Orleans, but I probably would lean more towards Carolina. But yeah, I'm Pittsburgh through and through. Everybody knows that. TJ Blaze says Boston Tea Party, Michael Scott. I don't know how you do it so fast. Somebody else in the comment section said Boston Tea Party. I said Michael Scott, but somebody else said Boston Tea Party. So whoever said Boston Tea Party, shout out to you. I just simply combined the names together. So now Boston Scott will be known as Boston Tea Party. Boston Tea Party, Michael Scott. I think I'll just go with that. I don't want to throw in Dunder Mifflin. It's a whole lot of words. Somebody said it's a kick return TD. That would be something now, wouldn't it? We have seen the Eagles return a touchdown on a kickoff before as well, if I'm not mistaken. But there's the kick. Will it be fielded in bounds? No, it will not. And here we go. Back onto the field comes the Eagles offense. And Carson Wentz. Where is this man? He's hiding. 5 career game-winning drives in the fourth quarter and overtime, 2 of which have been against the Giants. And we don't need to ask about how many game-winning or fourth quarter and overtime comebacks Eli Manning has, because it is well over 30. In fact, I believe he's top 5 all time. Carson Wentz absolutely balling in this second half. On the field, Scott, Sanders, Ertz, Ward, and somebody's name that ends with Whiteside, who had a great catch on Archega, I think it is. And here he goes to the right-hand side. He wasn't too sure where to line up. They should run the football here. But they're sending Miles Sanders in motion. Wentz drops back, looking back towards his left, connects with Sanders. He picks up an Eagles first down. And he's most likely going to be out of bounds at the 36-yard line. The Eagles on the move. If you remember their last possession, that is indeed how they picked up their first down. Here we go. 1st and 10 in overtime. Remember, first person to score a touchdown here wins the game. Somebody said D-Jack's punt return to win the game. Man, D-Jack's ain't playing. Brassman says, Chiseled Adonis, bold prediction. You're damn right. Carson Wentz dumps the ball off. Couple blockers out in front for Michael Scott. Big time gain into Giants territory. Down, or I should say out of bounds, inside the 40. The Eagles on the move. But remember, they may be moving into field goal range, but a field goal is not enough to win. Will the Giants even have an opportunity to touch the football? We'll find out momentarily. But if the Eagles get in there, sayonara, Giants are done. Cryptic 314 says it's pronounced Arcega. Well, thank you for letting me know. From the 39-yard line, 1st and 10. Only 1 minute has elapsed in overtime. Play action fake. Carson Wentz rolling towards his right. Use your legs. He does not. He connects with his receiver. That's going to be another first down. 2 Perkins, no Kendrick. The Eagles are now in Jake Elliott field goal range. But remember, he missed a 48, 49, 47-yard field goal earlier today. So can he come through for the Eagles? But remember, this is not 2006. A field goal does nothing but give the Giants an opportunity to respond. A touchdown wins this game. Let's see what transpires. Now over a minute and a half has elapsed in overtime. In shotgun formation once again. We're going to have single coverage on the weak side. Oh, my, no, on the play side, actually. There's the toss over to Sanders, still blockers out in front, and he's going to pick up absolutely nothing. The first play that the Giants have made in overtime thus far. Candace Leach says, the Jets and Steelers game going to be in New Jersey or Pittsburgh? It's going to be in New Jersey. I'm going to be at MetLife Stadium. Here we go. Arcega leaving the side. Well, he's headed towards the sideline, coming off of the field. We're set up for a classic finish here. Jeremiah Trotter jersey. This guy is getting ready. He's got the green glasses. He's bent over at the waist. 2nd and 10. Wentz takes the snap, gets rid of the football. Connection once again to Ward. That's a pickup of what should be 7. No, that should be a pickup of 8. Setting up 3rd and 2. What I would like to see here is a little bit of a draw. I would like to see the run game here for the Eagles. But then again, Carson Wentz is firing on all cylinders. Perhaps they should keep this going. Dusk Thunder 9 says Bills Steelers prediction. I'll get to that when I do the pregame. Caught a hiccup while I was talking. That sounded weird. Pregame. But I'll touch on that when I get to the predictions on this Thursday. 2nd and 2. 3rd and 2, pardon me. Handoff to Sanders. He squeezes through. He's got a block. Does he hold on to the football now? Hold on to the football. Inside the 10. The Eagles have a first down. Talk about second effort. This man has a capital E on his report card, and it does not mean poor grades. Look at the blocks here. Jason Peters just taking up space. Not sure who's behind him, but it's enough to make space for Miles Sanders to go and pick up that first down. The Eagles saying I don't have to pay on my credit card because I got frequent flyer Miles Sanders picks up the first down, 1st and goal from the 8-yard line in Philly, in Lincoln Financial Field. They've scored they've scored 19 of 22 goal-to-goal drives this season. What does that mean? If they have something in goal, they've scored 19 of 22. Hand off to Boston Scott. He's going to be stopped inside the 5, tackled at probably the 2-yard line. The Eagles all momentum, opportunity to win here. This is 4-down territory in my opinion, because if you do get a turnover on downs, you force the Giants to have to go the length of the field. So to hell with calling out the kicker at this point. This is 4-down territory. This football, baby. Doug Peterson on the sideline getting ready to unzip his sweatpants, unzip his pantalones. Why? Because he wants to make sure everybody knows that his nuts are hanging on the floor. And it's not because he's got testicular cancer. It's because he's got big balls. And when it comes down to a coach having big balls to win the doggone game, you got to go out there and call plays nobody expects you to call. And here we go inside the 5-yard line. There's going to be a timeout coming from Doug Peterson. And he can use these timeouts because there's 5:13 left to play. There's 2nd and goal inside the 5-yard line. But remember, 2nd and goal, you had 2 timeouts. What does that mean? I think back to Super Bowl 49. Seattle, they was in this situation, not in overtime, but they had an opportunity to run the football. Although Carson Wentz's his opportunity to throw the football down the field, his arm, not his hand, although the hand is attached to the arm, he was able to march down the field with his hand, with his arm. I would trust in the run game here. I'm running the football here. I better not see a running back go in motion. You do not want to graduate from Seattle Seahawk University. You don't want to give the football back to Eli Manning, although you kind of do because he will be vintage Eli Manning. Look at that Giants fan. Look at that Giants fan staring at the floor, upset, his chin being shown on top of his neck, just living terribly, upset at his team's failures to do anything successfully. Why are they in a passing formation? They line up in a trips bunch. No, don't throw the football. Wide open. It's Ertz in the end zone. Touchdown. The Eagles win. The Giants lose on Monday Night Football. I'm shocked. I can't believe they actually threw the football and it ended up working out. But of course, Carson Wentz is his favorite target to Zach Ertz. And back from 14 down. The Eagles win the game 23-17. Half a game behind the Dallas Cowboys. Doug Peterson says to hell with what happened in Seattle. I could care less about the Seattle Seahawks in the Super Bowl. That ain't New England. We ain't the Seahawks. We're the Eagles. They're the Giants, and they absolutely suck. Oh, I heard Eli Manning's coming back. I could care less. It doesn't matter if it's his first start in damn near half the season. It doesn't matter if he might hang it up. It doesn't matter if we'll never see him again. It doesn't matter if I love Peyton Manning as he's in attendance. We gonna beat them down on Monday Night Football in front of the world. How many wins the Giants got? 2. When was the last time they won a game? Lord knows if they even won a damn game this season. I think they might have got 2 by forfeit. Whatever the case may have been, the Eagles take care of business at home in Lincoln Financial Field and take down the Philadelphia Eagles. Who's your daddy? It's not the Giants. Call them the New York Midgets. They can't get it done. Everybody, they coming over to go say hello to Eli Manning. Hey, man, you had a hell of a career. You got those 2 Super Bowl championships. You were able to go out and beat Tom Brady's defense. Kudos to you. You went over there and won those games. But that's the past. We ain't talking about the present, and your future is going to be written down to death note because your career fixing to get deleted. Josh McCown been on more teams than Lisa Ann been on cock, but somehow he's still out here and got a job in the NFL. Janoris Jenkins had his ankles taken away, his wrist a little bit broken, and how hard he hit the floor. Carson Wentz came out and let his nuts hang. Doug Peterson came out and let his nuts hang, and the damn Giants could not take care of business. You had a 17-3 lead. It'd be a shame if somebody blew it, and they did blow it. They could not get the job done. They couldn't get the job done. Zach Ertz says, are you disrespecting me? You're going to leave me uncovered? Do you know who my wife is? She's an Olympic champion. Do you know who I am? I'm a champion. And he'd go into the end zone in the most accomplished football, or I should say the most accomplished family in sports. Currently, in my opinion, I'd say between wife and husband. Came out there and got the game-winning touchdown. And look at Eli Manning on the sideline, sitting there, looking like a bitch, upset at what just transpired, hands going into the air, deodorant being showcased on the Philly sideline because they came away with the W. I could do this all doggone day, I might add. Eli Manning running into the locker room with an L, nothing but hot L's. Send him to Uncle Shay Shay's Sharp's house because he's got nothing but L's. W for the Philadelphia Eagles, and people in Dallas are now looking over their shoulders. Oh no, here come the Eagles. I thought we stopped those birds. What's happening? It seems like we're going to Violet City. We're going to Faulkner's gym. He's got a Pidgeotto. He's got some sort of eagle that's coming onto the field because the Eagles have an opportunity to go and take care of the business and win their division. They can win their division. And for the Giants, the only place they're going is back to New York. Or I should say New Jersey. Why do we call them the New York Giants if they're playing New Jersey? We might as well call them the New Jersey Giants. Why do we keep doing this? Remember all the older Giants fans? Oh, I remember when we used to play in Yankee Stadium back in my day. Well, guess what, Agnes? Well, guess what, Carl? Well, guess what, Thaddeus? Well, guess what, Benedict? You're 78 years old. You're 103. Why are you still here? Worry about your AARP. $9.99 coming in from Ultra Instinct. He says, what's up, Chiseled Adonis? I know I was quiet the whole game. I was nervous as hell about my birds. Great commentary. Wentz is the truth. I told you guys, don't blink, don't worry. You can get the job done. I told you guys the Eagles were going to come back. I told you Eli was going to Eli himself out of the W. He may not have had a turnover, but damn it, he ain't do nothing in the second half. I told you he was going to put on a masterclass performance, make you think that Eli Manning is back. That's exactly what happened in the first half. You saw Darius Slayton out there with a 35-yard touchdown. You saw Darius Slayton out there with a 55-yard touchdown. Then what happened in the second half? Eli Manning throwing the football to absolutely nobody, throwing the football to his last time of being elite. Oh, wait a minute. It never existed. He could connect with absolutely nobody, and the Eagles took care of business. But I tell you this much, as I was trying to get to before I saw the donation come in, so I had to make a little bit of a tangent. Now we're coming back to where originally we was at. Okay, the Giants, they're headed back to New Jersey. They're taking out their Metro cards, and where they getting? Aboard the L train. And we're closing this out with style. Before I get into, doing the closing bit, let's just go down the line and give the shout outs to everybody who done tuned in on in Twitter world. Noah, I appreciate you. Javia, thank you very much. All right, TJ Blaze, Bren, Javante, James Smith, Hoodie Zay, Jay, True Psychotic, One Murder Log, Tyson, Mark Adderman, Miles, there was one more, Stephen Oates, Danny, Amir, Gap Tooth Assassin, CJ. All you had to do was follow me on Twitter, CJ. Manda, I appreciate you. Charles Jackson, Dylan Dunn. Bitter Samurai, Fly Guy Gray, as always. Ethan, as always. Protector of the Earth X. Lamar Sorrell. CJ Lloyd, Yordi, as always. Dylan Dunn, I'm not sure if I said your name already. Nicholas Smith, I appreciate you. Joker, as always. David Radler, as always. And there should be two more names, Andrew Penalosa and Bean as well. If I missed anybody on Twitter, I apologize. I got to get this commentary up for you guys. On Hot Mic, every single one of you guys, Xavier, Razzlepus, Samuel, Samaj, Bren, Theo, Jay, Packer Nation 12, Austin Brewer, Night Move, Shavang Patel, all of you guys on YouTube. Candace Leach, as always, Yang Vang, Tim Harris, Saul Develos, Jamar Quavius, Jarquavius, I keep saying Jamarquavius. Caden, Tatiana, a dude that breathes. I'm happy that you breathe, dude. Willie Will, S. Barrow, the GOAT, Alvin Johnson, Kristen Ridley, the App Master, Young Jeezy, Timmy's Fish, Steven Gonzalez, Ryan Clear, David Box, Jaheim Stewart, Jesus Valdez, S. Barrow Ball, DC Real, Matthew Parker, Torrance Banks, Dust Thunder, Sonic Dew, Josh Apostle, okay, Jordan Murray, Amelano Luga, Sertan Lee Olnuff, I appreciate you. Thank you for putting 20 on it. Yo, my Eagles did it, though. That's mad, lads. I told you they was going to get the W. Savage 305, ASAP Corey. Desmond Edmond, as always, put 5 on it. Says, actually, a decent game. Great commentary, as always. Appreciate you, as always. I appreciate you. D-Bab, Zenith, True Clark, Fuzzy Fishnuts, McKay Upshaw, Toast, Jordan Bailey, Kane Dark, T Wizzy. Oh, it's True Clark's birthday. Happy birthday to you. I keep singing, but we got more names coming in. Net Strike, MD-567. Colts Nation, as always. Hey, Colts Nation, your birthday was on the live stream a couple weeks back. Now it's True Clark's birthday. Hey, if it's your birthday during the live stream, let me know. I'll sing to you when I have time. All right. Tommy Brown, let's get a couple more names up in there. John Lindsay, Ryan Arnold, Kyle Kruldebatch. I think that's how it's pronounced. I apologize for butchering your name. Guapshad, Almantane Jones, Andy Ho, Aslin Mahmood, I Suck at Video Games, Mojo Go Crazy, Christopher Hogg, Deshaun Walker, and everybody click that like button. If you did not hear your name, I apologize. It's about time I get back to upload this commentary. You know what? I'm just going to premiere it at midnight. Yeah, I'm going to premiere it at midnight. But yeah, this has been... And we're doing our closing remarks now. So if you have not clicked the like button already, click the like button. If you have not downloaded the Hot Mic app, do me a favor, download the Hot Mic app. I'm putting the links over here. Although it is over now, you can tune in and catch everything on time on Thursday for Thursday Night Football. If you have an iOS or you have an iPhone, or pretty much the same thing. If you have an iPhone, download the Hot Mic app. Use the promo code Adonis. It's absolutely free. If you have an Android, pre-register for the app right now. You can download it, actually. I believe it's in its beta stage. Whatever the case may be, give it a download. Use the promo code Adonis. Get out there. Use the Hot Mic app. Giving power back to the creator. It's very innovative. It's going to be the best damn app going moving forward when we talk about sports. Nobody's going to want to have to listen to the sports commentators that you're hearing on television. You're going to want to hear the diligent, vigilant, meticulous, sagacious, conscientious, analytical, methodical individual. And this has been live in Hold My Nugget Studios for your 2019 NFL Week 14 Monday Night Football game highlight commentary in a battle in the NFC East between the Philadelphia Eagles hosting the New York Giants to keep pace in the NFC East, trying to keep pace with the Dallas Cowboys. And we saw Carson Wentz answer from 14 unanswered points, come back from 14 down, score 20 unanswered points, or I should say, yes, 20 unanswered points, and walk away with a W, putting them one half of a game behind the Dallas Cowboys. And I have been your host of the show, your favorite commentator. You don't got to listen to Big Booger McFarland. You don't got to listen to Troy Aikman. You don't got to listen to Tony Romo on commentary. You take a little bit of the app, you put it on, you put your headphones in your ears, you turn on your surround sound, you put on your damn speaker, and you listen to the diligent, vigilant, meticulous, sagacious, conscientious, analytical, methodical individual, the Chiseled Adonis. And whether you like it or you don't like it, learn to love it, because it's the best commentary going today. At 12, you're going to get the commentary live. Stay tuned. I'm still going to be on YouTube. I'm watching it with you. I'm going to sleep at probably about 12:30. I'm going to wake up on Wednesday afternoon, whatever the case may have been. I enjoyed tonight with you guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. Have yourself a wonderful night. Don't go anywhere. We're going to be live once again on YouTube for your Sunday commentary that was unfortunately not posted yesterday. So I'll see you in about 15 minutes.